off to a very huge start as we are preparing for the game between the Houston Texans hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. So we're currently waiting for kickoff. But man, this is the first game I've called in a while. I've been really busy as of the last few matter of weeks. I've been busy with work. I've been working my tail off. So I apologize for not making any other videos from this recent area. But the last stream I did was of the Monday Night Football game between the Rams and the Dolphins. But since then, I've been on the move. So as you can see, I'm in a new location set up behind me. So we are preparing for the Texans to take on the Chargers. So hope y'all like to tune in. And man, we got a good game ahead of us. So I'm gonna mute myself real quick. But I'll be back in just a second. Well, we've got a really good game on top of us, but they're preparing for the national anthem. But of course, we already know some of the playoff teams that are set up. You got later on today the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens, which I'm still contemplating if I'm going to do that one or not. Then you also have the Buffalo Bills hosting the Denver Broncos as well tomorrow morning. And then they also have the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles later on that day. Then that day wraps up with the Commanders taking on the Bucks. That one should be a very fun game. I really like how that game is set up. And man, that one's going to be a very exciting game. And then last but not least, you also got the Rams host going to Arizona because of the recent wildfire news. So hopefully all the people in Los Angeles are okay. So now the game has been moved to Arizona. So it's in a neutral site. So that's pretty good news. And I like that personally. So we'll see. So they're preparing the national anthem and also giving the honorable mention to the city of Los Angeles. I'm just sending my link to a couple of friends of mine. Calling the Chargers versus Texans game. Okay. And then and send this link to some of my friends and family as well. So that way they all can tune in. Well, we're preparing for the game. This one's a very exciting one. The Chargers are very heavy favorites because of what's been going on with the Houston Texans. Of course, the offensive line has struggled. And I do actually have the Los Angeles Chargers in this game. I send now my link to some pals of mine and also friends. But I also want to send out my prayers to all of the people of Los Angeles because the fires are currently going on in LA right now. So all prayers out to the people in Los Angeles. So hopefully all those people are okay. Hopefully the evacuations are made in time. So I'm still sending out some of my links to some of my friends and family. But be sure to comment me down in the comments and questions, and I'll be able to answer them throughout the entirety of the game. So, still trying to send out the link. Okay, still waiting for the game to start. I'm still sending out my link to some of my pals. And be sure to comment in the comments. I'll be answering questions from the comments all day. Okay, we've got a few more to go. Okay, there we go. So that's all good. Alrighty, we're all good to go. So we're waiting for the game to start up. But this game, I believe, is going to be really interesting. You got two really good sides that are being kind of highlighted as underdog teams. Texans, of course, being highlighted as Super Bowl contender by many people at the beginning of the year. But, of course, they've had their offensive line struggles. But then you also got the Chargers that have been pretty much a shock as of this year. And none of us expected them to be in the playoffs. So here they are. But here we go. AFC wildcard is about to get underway, and the road to the Super Bowl begins today. So the Chargers, if they win, they will probably face the Chiefs. If the so the way I'm looking at this right now is, if the Chargers win and the Broncos lose to the Bills next week, it'll be the Chargers to go on the road to Kansas City, which I believe that would be a really good matchup. No division rival has swept 3 games in a row, so I believe that would be a very fun game, especially being played in Kansas City. The Chargers, they've been getting better every single week, and I do like the Chargers. I do like their chances against Kansas City if they can get this game done first. So the Texans have won the toss. They have elected to defer. So it'll be the Chargers getting the ball first, and Jim Harbaugh being the main man of the charge. So a name we've not seen in the NFL for years, now making his first playoff debut as the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, and his first playoff game since 2014's NFC Championship game, the one against the Seattle Seahawks, which the 49ers lost. So, Chargers will get the ball first. Kickoff is about to get underway. And there we go. We're underway in Houston. So, the Texans will kick it off to the Chargers. And Davis, returning down the left seam, gets tackled down around the 26-yard line. And now the Chargers offense will come out onto the field. And there's Will Disley and Justin Herbert, who has had 26 consecutive pass attempts on the road without an interception. So hopefully I just didn't jinx him there. But Houston, this is going to be a really good game. I do think the defense is going to put up a fight on the Chargers, on the Texans side. So we'll see, of course, on how the game fans out. So Chargers, first playoff game since the game against the Jaguars. We'll see how they do this time. But Herbert in the back hands it off to Dobbins. Dobbins gets tripped up. Only a gain of 2 on the play. Had a wide open gap, but got brought down immediately. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 8. But man, the Chargers, they've got a lot of really good weapons. You got, of course, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston. You got Will Disley and also Ladd McConkey, the rookie, one of the 4 rookies to have 1,000 yards receiving. One of the 4, my bad. Another run to Dobbins. He gets an open seam running, and I think he might have gotten the first down. It'll depend on the spot. Yes, he did. He got the first down. So already the Chargers offense is beginning to move. So a main key I have for this game for the Texans is to stop the Chargers' run. The main key on the Chargers' strength of victory is when they run the ball to J.K. Dobbins. Whenever that happens, that is when teams can go off, especially going on road environments like Houston. So we'll, of course, wait and see on how the Texans' defense can fare against this very stacked Chargers offense. But we'll see what happens here. So Herbert, first pass of the day, throws, and it's caught, gets trucked immediately by the rookie out of USC, Caden Bullock. And it rookie on rookie, I think, as it was Lad McConkey with the catch. And it is enough for a first down. So a first down for the Chargers. So correction, it was Murray. It was Eric Murray, my bad. So Eric Murray was the man that made the tackle. So we'll see on what the defense of the Texans can do. Another first down for the Chargers at the Chargers 47-yard line, throws, and it is caught down inside of Texans territory, and it's former Seattle Seahawk Will Dissly making his first playoff debut as a Charger. So very happy for Will Dissly, and I think he might be one of those keys in this football game, being able to cover him. Because Will Dissly is that sneaky type of guy, and I really like Will Dissly. And I hope he performs well in this game, especially because the Chargers are trying to fight for their home right now. Because, of course, the LA is on fire right now. So, and then also Florida, which I don't even know how that's possible. A run to Dobbins. He gets a first down inside of the Texans 40. And it was Toto with the tackle. And it was Dobbins on the run again. But J.K. Dobbins' birthplace was actually in Houston. I did not know that about the guy. But this guy, J.K. Dobbins, I believe he's going to be a really good piece for this Chargers offense. And I'm very excited for what the Chargers can do in the future now that Jim Harbaugh is in there. But Herbert, flowing down to his left, running, and then throws, and is caught. What a catch on the left seam. It is 42, and Alshire appears to be hurt. Looks like he was grimacing in pain. Herbert was looking to run the ball. He had a wide open lane, but threw it, and then he got the first down regardless. And yep, Alshire, the man coming off of his 3-game suspension, is now down on the field. Of course, he was suspended during the after the hit on Trevor Lawrence. So it was number 42. I'm not sure on who that is. But the Chargers, I mean, they've been a really good shock. I mean, they've been really good. I knew Harbaugh was going to kind of make an impact on this team right away. I just did not expect it this fast. And now you got 3 AFC West teams in the playoffs. And I believe if the Chargers meet up with the Kansas City Chiefs in round 2, I believe the Chargers might cause the Chiefs some trouble. I believe they might. But I don't think they will because Kansas City is ultimately inevitable. But later game on today that we got tonight, on Saturday night, you, of course, got the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. That game, I believe, is going to be a very fun game. Each division rivalry has appeared to be close. And I'm personally have the Ravens in that game because I need to see something from the Steelers in the playoffs. They've gone 8 wins. They've not won a playoff game in 8 years, maybe soon to be 9. But I'm still contemplating if I'm going to call that game or not. I'm still waiting and seeing what is going to go down. But throw me down some questions in the chat if y'all want to. Throw me down some questions in the chat, and then I'll be able to answer them throughout the stream. Let me just see if I've gotten anything so far. Nothing yet. So if you guys want to shoot me down some questions, I'm willing to answer them all day. Got some green tea in here. Just getting some hydration going on. But of course, the Seahawks recently, I did not cover this because I did not know this until today. They recently fired Ryan Grubb, which I felt needed to happen. I knew there was going to be a firing. I was hoping it wasn't Mike McDonald because he's had an outstanding first year. But I do like the move on from Ryan Grubb. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the new play calling. I just like to see the run more. I would just love to see the run more. So if we can go out there and get a different offensive coordinator, maybe go out there and get a Ben Johnson, although he's a very high head coaching candidate. We will have to wait and see what happens, but Seattle's got a really good, interesting situation going on at offensive coordinator. But here's the play that Alshir got hurt on. I couldn't tell how he got hurt. We'll keep updated on that. Herbert, lone in shotgun, throws one down the left and it is almost intercepted, overthrown to Ladd McConkey, the rookie, was the intended target, and was almost picked off by the other rookie on the other side, Caden Bullock. So that was almost a very bad throw by Herbert. But yeah, I mean, a few inches more down, and McConkey probably catches that ball because it was just off of his finger. So we'll see if the Chargers can get it into the end zone here. They're at the 23-yard line after the gain on the last play before the injury. Herbert looks to throw again. Quick slant to Disley and is caught. And close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. I think it'll be short of the line to gain. It'll be third down. It was Eric Murphy with the tackle, and it was Will Disley with a 9 to 10 yard gain. So I think it'll be third down for the Los Angeles Chargers. Which I think if it's 3rd and 1, you run the dang ball. You run the dang ball on a 3rd and 1. And yep, it'll be 3rd down and 1. There's Stroud warming up on the sidelines, so we'll see what happens here. But 3rd down and 1 coming from the Texans 14. They need to get to the 13 for a first down. And it's a handoff to Dobbins, but he is going to get brought down for a loss of 2, maybe 3. And it is number 91 in there for the sack. In there for the tackle for loss. And the Chargers are going to have to settle with a field goal. So the Chargers already in scoring position. So we'll wait and see if this is going to put up points or not on the board. Because you never know if there's going to be a blocked kick or not. So we'll see, of course, what ends up happening. Here we go. Field goal kick is on the way. And it is a little bit to the right, but it's good. It just sinks through. So the Chargers take the early lead 3-0 against the Texans on the first drive of the game. So the Texans will get the ball next. So we'll see if the Houston Texans can put up an answer. But man, we already got a good game here. But we'll see, of course, what ends up happening. I'm going to check some texts here real quick. Alright. Well, we'll of course wait and see what's going to happen, but man, we got some good playoff games ahead. I'm very excited for some of them. I'm very excited for the Commanders and Bucks on Sunday night. Whew. Sorry, I just got done with a work shift on it at my little restaurant that I have here that I work at as a runner, so I've been moving around a lot lately, so I'm sorry if I'm a little tired. So, because I've had a little bit of a day. Had a 9-hour day yesterday. Man, I had a 9-hour day yesterday, and I went to bed at around midnight last night. So, I may not sound or look like my best. So, if you see me on it, I'm sorry about that because, as I said, I've been tired and had a lot of work shifts. But the last game I called was the Dolphins and the Rams. That was the last game I called. So we'll see if I'm still waiting to decide if I'm going to do on the next game. If I'm going to do the Steelers and Ravens. Which I think I might. I'm still thinking about it though. So we'll see, of course, what ends up happening in that circumstance. And, of course, that game will be played on Amazon as well. So, we'll see what happens there. We're still waiting for commercial to come back. That is what we're waiting on right now. So, And I've been getting a lot of sayings. I've been getting a lot of comments during my live stream saying that my screen's moving a little slow compared to other TV screens. And that is true because I'm on Q Streaming, which is the sponsor of this stream, of this first half. Q Streaming is a really good streaming service. It's $60 a month, and you get live TV, on demand movies, and TV shows. And you get, if you get someone signed up with your code, and you can get an additional $5 a month. So I would highly suggest it. I'll have that link down in the chat. But the Chargers now, after scoring a field goal, will now have to rely on their defense, which is ranked number 1 in scoring defense this season. So we'll see if the Texans can put up an answer. We'll see if Houston can put up a response, and more importantly, CJ Stroud. So it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. That'll move it up to the Texans' 30-yard line. And here comes Stroud and the Texans. Stroud has had a struggling time, but the last 2 games he's not throwing interceptions, so that is good. But the offensive line has to do their part today in order for the Texans to come out here with a win. So we'll see what they can do. Nico Collins and Joe Mixon are in the lineup. Sorry about my yawning. But here we go. 1st and 10 for the Texans at the 30-yard line of Houston. And Stroud looks to throw. Throws one left side. It is going to be caught. Ball came out. Was that ruled a catch and fumble? If it is, then that's Charger ball. And for right now, they're ruling it a fumble recovered by the Chargers. But we'll see, of course, if it stands. It's Derwin James with the recovery. It was John Mechie with the catch, and then he fumbled it. But was he moving the football motion, or was there 2 feet down? Yeah, there was 2 feet down. He began moving, and then the ball got popped out. So we'll see if that's going to be ruled a catch or a fumble. Oh, his knee might have been down. Let's see. Oh, the ball came out just before his knee hit. They might take a look at this. So we'll see. The officials are having a discussion. And we'll see if that is going to wind up being the case. Turn it up on my side. See what's going on. So we'll see if this is going to stand as called for right. And I think I think they've confirmed it. They've confirmed the call on the field. So the Chargers get their first takeaway of the game on the first play of the Texans' drive. So the Texans, costly turnover for Houston, and now that sets up the Chargers at the Texans 33, and a big break for the Chargers. And a run up the middle to Gus Edwards for an 8-yard carry. So yeah, it didn't look like his knee was down. The ball was moving out, but that is a good call by the officials. That is a really good call by the officials. And Alshier's back in there, so the injury might have not been that severe. The injury must have not been that severe. So that's really good, and good thing for the Texans because he's a big piece in that secondary. So it's still 3-0, 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. And a run to Edwards again, and that time he gets the first down. Down inside of the Texans' 25-yard line. But Gus Edwards has been performing at his really good best self for the last few games. So, and when J.K. Dobbins was out, he originally struggled, but then he began to get into a groove. So we'll see, of course, what ends up happening. So, Chargers now 1st and 10 at the Texans' 22.5-yard line. And it'll be a fake handoff to Dobbins, but it will not work as Herbert is wrapped up and sacked. And it's the 2-year man out of Alabama, Will Anderson Jr., with the sack. So, and that's a huge play for the Texans, and that almost knocked them out of field goal range. That was very close to knocking them out of field goal range. Oh no, it's down inside the 35, so that is close to the field goal range marker. I think the field goal range marker is the 45-yard line, which we'll see. Second down and 19, a loss of 9. Herbert in trouble again, throws it, and it is, dropped by Disley. Disley had it in his hands, but dropped it. And it'll bring up third down and very long for the Chargers. If he would have had the catch, he would have probably had a first down and maybe would have had a touchdown. So now the Chargers, the Chargers need to get a first down here to keep the drive alive. But they have enough for good enough yardage for a field goal attempt if necessary. And Herbert looks to throw right side. It is going to be caught. And I believe that is Joshua Palmer. No, it's DJ Shark. It's DJ Shark for the catch. And it'll not matter because it's a gain of only a few. Not enough for a first down, though. So now they'll have to kick again. They'll have to get a field goal kick again. So we'll see if they can get it this time. We'll see if they can extend their lead to 6. 39-yard attempt coming up for the kicker. Kick is on the way and right down the middle. It is good. And the Chargers have the lead 6-0 against Houston on the road in H-Town. So we will see what's going on. And then we'll see if Houston can end up putting up a response. So Chargers already making some early noise. So Chargers, yeah, they got a really good lead ahead of this game. So we'll see if the Chargers can get past the first round. And remember, if the Chargers win this game, they would need a Broncos loss to face off against the Kansas City Chiefs. So, and I believe that's, I think, what the Chargers want to have go against Kansas City. And then the other 2 games will be determined based on what happens. But the good news is the two of the AFC games happen today. The bad news is the Chargers won't know who they face until tomorrow morning when the game against Buffalo and Denver goes on. So we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, I don't think the Broncos are going to get past the Buffalo Bills. I don't think the Broncos are going to get past the Buffalo Bills, in my personal opinion. So we'll see if they can end up doing that. Hey, sorry. I'm a little tired. I've had a lot of work shifts as of recent, so if you see me on it or if you see me rubbing my eyes, yeah, I'm a little tired. But yeah, we already up 6-0 in this game, so we'll see what ends up happening in this showdown. I might give a Palomar a call at halftime, so be sure to come in at the half. And we'll chat with Steven to see if we can chat about the games going on in the next few days. So I'll send him a text now to see if he'll be available for that. All right, so we'll see. But Chargers, they have a 6-0 lead against 6-0 lead against the Houston Texans. So So far, the Texans have only touched the ball once, so and that ended up being the only turnover of this game, which resulted in a 3 points. So we'll see if Stroud and the Texans can protect the ball that much because that is going to play a very big factor in this football game. So I'm gonna mute myself for a second, real quick. Hold on. So it's 1st and 10, handoff to Mixon this time. And this time it doesn't result in a takeaway as Joe Mixon gets a gain of 3 on the carry. So, and it was Khalil Mack with the bring down. But the Chargers, they have not gotten a playoff win in quite some time. The last time they were in the playoffs, they gave up a 27-0 lead against the Jaguars. So hopefully that same result does not happen for the Chargers today. So 2nd down and 7 for the Texans. Handoff to Mixon and snuffed immediately. Only a gain of 1. Joey Bosa was one of the men in there along with number 6. So now bring up 3rd down and manageable for the Texans. It was Perriman with the one of the 2 guys in there along with Joey Bosa. So it's 3rd down and 7 for Houston, trying to get a 1st down and try to get a 1st down to keep the drive alive. They're down to the 33-yard line at the moment, so Stroud trying to get something going for this Texans team. Stroud looks to throw. He's in trouble, being pressured by Bosa. He escapes, throws, and that is almost intercepted again. And that was almost a 2nd turnover for the Chargers. And that'll be a very quick 3 and out for Houston. And Houston's not been able to move the ball as of early. So Texans need to get the ball, need to get some 1st downs, and they need to get some scores on the board. Primarily, the Texans defense needs a takeaway right now if they're going to get themselves back in this ball game. And we'll see if they can ultimately do that. But also, if you want to watch the game live, it's on CBS. So if you want to watch the game there. And kick is on the way down to the Chargers. And it'll be fair call. Oh, that's a fair catch interference. And there's the flag. It goes into the end zone, but it'll be a flag for fair catch interference. The return guy signaled for fair catch, and then immediately after that, he got contacted. So that'll be, I believe, a 15-yard penalty, or it'll be moved up to the 40-yard line, which would be huge. And this will be the first flag of the game. Let's see what the officials call. I'm going to unmute this so I can hear. So let's see. So it'll help with field position. Here's the call. All right, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty from that spot. It was on number 17, so a big penalty for the Texans on special teams. So the Chargers lead 6-0 against Houston. So we'll see if the Texans can get some momentum going back in their way, because they ultimately need some right now. I'm still contemplating if I'm going to do the Steelers-Ravens game, which I might not, just so that way I can rest up. So we'll see if the Chargers can get some more, add on to their lead. And we'll, of course, see if there's going to be a lot of different teams to get into the playoffs. So, of course, you got the playoff game today against the Chargers and the Texans. Then later on will be the Steelers and the Ravens. Then tomorrow will be a triple header as the Broncos will go on the road to Buffalo and take on the Bills. The Eagles will host the Packers, And then Sunday night will be the Commanders and the Bucks. And then the last game will be the Vikings and Rams in Arizona. So because of the relocation of the fire. So we'll see if LA can still favor from being technically home field home field players. So that is going to be an interesting situation. I don't know if they're going to have the Rams logo on the Arizona Cardinals field. I don't know if that's going to be. I think the Cardinals logo might be on the field or at least NFL wild card. I'm not sure. So we'll have to see how that fans out. That is going to be a very interesting situation though. So also once again, prayers out to Los Angeles on all the fires in there. So we'll see if that is going to. Hopefully the fires will die down, and let's certainly hope it does. So, but man, Houston, they need to get some defense going. They have to get some stops on defense, and if they're gonna get back in this game, they need a stop on this drive. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers. The Chargers are up 6-0 right now against the Houston Texans. So we'll see if that is going to help them. So the sun is not on the field anymore because of the roof. The sun is veered more towards the Chargers sideline. So the sun is out of the way of the field. So that is really good news. And I had an opportunity to actually be outside of NRG Stadium once. So I had some posters up there. So hopefully some people are reading that. So 1st and 10 for the Chargers up at the near. I don't know where it got placed because of the penalty. Let's see where it got placed. The officials, I think, are trying to know where the ball is going to go. But Jim Harbaugh, it's been a while since we've seen him in the NFL. Of course, after he was fired by the 49ers. He ended up going back to college and coaching the Michigan Wolverines before they eventually won the national championship. But it'll be up to the 35-yard line, so that is a really decent area. And Herbert will throw it back to Davis. It is going to be called, but there's a flag down. So I think the signal is ineligible man downfield. That is what I believe the signal is. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Chargers. So we'll see if that was going to happen there. Sorry about the barking in the background. It's my pups. So I believe it'll be an eligible man downfield right now. Hold on. Yep, an eligible man downfield on number 68. It was as the pass was being thrown to Davis. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, yep, he went a little too far down there. So 1st and 15 now after the penalty. Herbert hands it off to Dobbins or Edwards, and it's snuffed. It was handed off to Dobbins, but not going to get much there. Maybe a half a yard. But other than that, nothing else. So it'll bring 2nd down and 14 for the Los Angeles Chargers. Their offense is starting to move the ball early, but still they've not gotten a touchdown on the board as of yet. But they've still got 6 points on the board. So Chargers trying to keep that lead. Texans are trying to get the ball back to try and force a takeaway on this drive. Herbert looks to throw, has time, pressure's coming, floats one deep, and that is going to be all incomplete. Intended for Quinton Johnston, but hold on, there is a flag down, so hold on a minute. Holding against the defense, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty and automatic 1st down. It was Danielle Hunter, the former Viking, guilty of the penalty. And D'Amico Ryans wants an explanation. Let's see what happened here. So here's the where the hold was. Oh, I think it was the little tug that he had. Yep. So, penalties so far have been very futile in this game. Texans have only had two, while the Chargers have only had one. Herbert hands it off to Dobbins or Edwards and gets about one. I believe it was, oh, yep, it was Edwards. So it'll be a gain of one on a second, and now it'll be second down and 9. As Daniil Hunter will come off of the field. So we'll see what the Chargers can do on offense, because the defense of Houston needs to get a stop here, because they need to get the ball back and at least get a score to get themselves at least back in this game. So second down and 9 for the Chargers. Dobbins lined up in the backfield, so might be a handoff. And Herbert takes a snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw, has time, floats, and is incomplete. It was intended in front for number 28, but incomplete. So that'll bring up third down and 9 for the Chargers. So Texans need to get a stop, and it looks like they might just do so right here. And it was number 28 in the area. Oh, he almost had it though. So it's number 30. It's third down and 9 coming up for the Chargers, and Houston is getting really loud in there. And I do see a lot of blue in there too. So it might be a little split stadium as well. So it's third down and 9. Herbert throws it. It is in the air, almost intercepted and brought down. Lad McConkey was the intended target. There was a lot of contact, but there's no flag. So fourth down and 9 coming for the Chargers, and they'll have to punt it away. And was the ball tipped maybe? Oh, Will Anderson hit the ball. Hit Herbert's arm as the ball was going forward. So that was a good pass rush by Will Anderson Jr., who's really made a name for himself in this league. And the kick almost blocked. I think it got tipped. And it was blocked. And it takes a bounce back to the 30, inside of the 30, and down at the 29. Tipped punt results in a really good gain for the Chargers. But, of course, the Chargers, let's see what happened. Yeah, one of their players got their hand on it. And the good news is, unlike the Cowboys, they actually did not touch the ball. So that is really good by Houston. And they didn't take a note out of the Cowboys book. So that's, of course, really good, because while in the Monday night game against Cincinnati, they had the ball blocked, and then one of their players touched it before the Bengals would eventually get the ball back. So that is really good news for Houston. And that's a really good awareness play by the Texans special teams. So we'll see if the Texans can finally get something going. They need to get at least a score to give their fan base some hope of coming back in this game. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So we'll see what happens here. But Chargers, they need another stop. Well, the Texans need to get a score on the board. So that is going to be needs to get a score on the board, regardless of whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. The Texans need to do something on offense, because they've had a turnover and a 3-and-out. So Texans really need something here. The last game I called with Houston in it was the game against the Lions on Sunday night, that game. So we'll see if the Texans can put up a response to the Chargers' 6 points that they've put up already. And we'll, of course, wait and see what happens. I'll have my divisional predictions out by Wednesday of next week. So if y'all want to tune into that divisional round prediction, it'll be posted out by Wednesday and Thursday at the latest. So quarterback, so D'Angelo Ross was the guy that went up there and blocked it. So and really good speed. That was really good by Ross. So Texans get decently better field position. It would have been better inside of Chargers territory, but it's better. So 1st and 10 for the Texans. Stroud has to do something. Throws it. It is caught by Schultz, and the first down of the Texans today. A first down for the Texans. So it's Dalton Schultz on the catch, and that's the former Dallas Cowboy down to their own 41-yard line. So that's a good start, but they need a score. They have to get a score on this drive to get themselves back in it. And Stroud looks to throw. He does. It is caught, and it is number 2. It's Robert Woods, the former Los Angeles Ram, on the catch. So Robert Woods with the big-time catch and another first down for Houston. That offense is finally starting to move. So we'll see if the Texans can do anything on this drive. They're right now on the brink of field goal range at the moment. They're at the Chargers 45-yard line, maybe just outside of it. So, and that's the second first down of the Texans today. And Stroud floats it. It is incomplete, intended for John Mechie. And the injury to Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell has very much been felt. Because they need to have some other guys in there. Because of what Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell meant to them at the deadline. So Denzel Perryman went out with an elbow injury, so he is listed currently as questionable on the Chargers. So we'll see if let's see if the Texans can put up a response. They have to get a score on this drive, I believe. And Stroud looks to throw, has a lot of time. He's in trouble, and he's sacked by one of the two Bosa brothers, Joey Bosa, in there for the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Texans. But the Texans, they need to get They need to get something here. They need some kind of form of points. And it was Bosa in there for the sack at the 50. So it'll be right at midfield. Let's see if the Chargers defense can make a stop, and more importantly, if the Texans can get a first down. 3rd and 15. And Stroud throws. It is caught by Schultz and tackled down at the 41-yard line. I think that's just outside of field goal range. And a big decision for the Texans. Do you try a field goal from that far out, or do you try to punt it? And it looks like right now, for the moment, that they might try and go for it. And that is looking like the case. Looks right now that they are going for it on 4th and 6. But is it an attempt to get them the Chargers offside? And that is the end of the first quarter, so they were probably waiting for the end of the first quarter. So Chargers have a lead 6-0 against Houston. So Houston trying to put up a response. But it'll be 4th down and 6 when the commercial comes back. Whew. Alrighty. Well, we'll see what happens here. All right, so it's only the end of the first quarter, so we still got about 45 minutes left to play in the game. Of course, 15 minutes before halftime. So I'm going to get some water really quick, but I'll be right back. And you can probably see me back there because my picture is not that far out, so that's good news. But we'll see if the Texans can put up a response. They, of course, have a 4th down and 6 coming up. So we'll see if they decide to go for it or if they're going to decide to try a kick. So we'll see if they decide to go for it. All right, so the 2 of the divisional round games will be played on the next Saturday, January 18th and the 19th. So those will be the 2 days of the 2 divisional games. So we'll, of course, wait and see who those games are going to be. So we'll see what happens there. But Texans are trying to get a 1st down. It's 4th and 6 right now. So are they going to punt, try a field goal, or go for it? And it looks like they might try and punt. I would not be surprised if the Texans try to fake. So we'll see what happens here. So 4th and 6. Let's see if they do indeed decide to fake. And 8 seconds to go on the play clock. And 3 seconds, and they might have to call a timeout. And the clock runs out to 0. And yeah, that'll be the delay of game to back them up. So they tried to draw the Chargers off sides. And the punter is pointed like over to the offensive line. I don't know what he was pointing to. So, he was trying to signal the guys to jump. So that apparently didn't work. So it'll be 4th and 11 now. So this will mean they'll for sure have to punt the ball away. So it's 4th and 11. So it'll be a punt back to the Chargers. And the Texans come out empty on one of their drives. And the punt is off and almost blocked that time. It'll be another fair catch down to the 7. And that time there's no contact. So Chargers will get the ball at the 12-yard line, if I'm correct. So we'll see if the Chargers can can try to extend their lead. But yeah, there's a lot of good coaching candidates out and available right now for some of the other teams around the NFL. Primarily, the main one is the Chicago Bears, which they're trying to go after Ben Johnson last time I checked. So Ben Johnson, I believe he should be one of the candidates for the Bears. Another candidate I might have is Mike Vrabel. Maybe try a trade for Mike Tomlin. Maybe try to see if you can put in negotiating for Mike Tomlin. Because I'll throw in a few first round, second round picks, and then get Mike Tomlin. Because Mike Tomlin's ultimately the definition of a winner. So we'll see what would happen there. But Herbert throws on the first play, and it is going to be caught. And it is Ladd McConkey, the rookie out of Georgia, with the big catch. And then also the national championship in Atlanta as well. You got that coming up too. As the Ohio State Buckeyes will go to Atlanta to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So that'll be a very interesting championship game. So I'm really hoping for a really good game. That's all I'm hoping for. All I'm hoping for is now a Georgia TCU. That's all I'm hoping for. So 1st and 10 for the Chargers. And Herbert fakes the handoff, looks to throw, has time, throws. It is going to be caught by McConkey, the rookie sensation out of Georgia, with another big catch and another first down for the Chargers. And McConkey, this guy, I mean, he's been like an under-the-radar type player. He's one of the 4 rookie receivers to have 1,000 yards, along with Brock Bowers, along with Brian Thomas Jr., and also Malik Neighbors. So, Ladd McConkey, he's been one of those really good pieces for the Chargers offense in the receiver core. So we'll see if they can get another. But handoff to Dobbins and a run down the left seam and brought down for a gain of 6. And it'll be a gain of 6 and it'll bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Los Angeles Chargers. But be sure to shoot me down in the comments some questions, and I'm willing to answer them all day long. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, my cup here has a straw, and it also has a little opening if you want to have a straw in there. So that's pretty good. But a fake handoff throws. It is going to be incomplete for McConkey, and now we have 3rd down and 4. Tried to do a little sneaky play action, but the Texans defense would not be fooled. So it's 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Houston Texans. So we'll see if the Texans can get a very much needed stop. They really need to get the ball back and try to have a chance at possessing the ball. And we're going to give my pal Steven a call at the half. So we'll see. He's yet to respond to my texts yet. So we'll see. But Herbert throws. It is going to be... Was it caught? No, it wasn't. Johnston bobbled it and couldn't bring it down. And Johnston is slow to get up. And it'll be 4th and 4. And Johnston hobbling over to the sideline. Yeah, it was a good pass, but just couldn't quite hold on to the ball. So we'll see. So the Chargers, the Texans will now get the ball back. So, and Johnston is a little hurt, a little banged up on the play. And he's still grimacing on the sidelines. So it'll be a punt back to the Texans. And it'll be down to the 12, and it'll be fair caught. So that is where the Texans will start. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Houston Texans when we come back from commercial. But yeah, it's already been an interesting game so far. It's 6-0, 12 minutes to go in the game, in the first half. So we'll see if the Texans can put up a response. But Steelers and Ravens, that's going to be a really fun game. I do expect it to be really good. So we'll see what the Chargers can end up do, if the Chargers defense can hold up. But I do have 2 little puppies as well, so we'll see if if the puppies want to come on over. But it looks like they're laying down right now. Of course, we're in a new place, so I've been a little busy getting moved. That's why I haven't been doing any streams. I've been busy moving around. I've been doing my applying for jobs, seeing which ones pop up and which ones are available. So I'm not sure what is going to be the case, but I do have one job right now, and that is my runner job at the restaurant that I work at. I was a parking director for a specific company, so that season just ended. So we'll see. I might apply for a baseball job. I'm not sure. Possibly, I'm not sure. Maybe traffic director for another area. I'm not sure, but we'll see what, of course, ends up happening in that circumstance. But of course, I'll try to get some games going on the weekend. I do have my jobs. As I said already, I did have my job today. I got off as early as 2. So hold on. I'm going to grab something really quick before the game comes back on. Sorry about that. Was just giving my mom something. But first and 10 for the Texans at the 12. They have to get something going. And the handoff to Mixon gets a gain of 2, and that's about it. And Houston just needs to get something going. They need to get it first. They need to get some kind of score on the board. So, the Harbaugh effect, pretty much. Points per game, had the 49ers ranked 16th when the season before Harbaugh arrived. They ranked 2nd afterwards. And then they also had 16th ranked scoring team in the first in defense in the 16th area for the year before, and then won the first overall scoring defense in the NFL. And Stroud floats a deep ball down the right seam and almost intercepted. It was intended deep downfield for Collins, but couldn't quite get to the ball. And a good route run by Collins, but just overthrown. And now we'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Houston Texans inside of their own 15. So we'll see if they can get a conversion, but neither side has had a 3rd down conversion today. So it's 3rd down and 8 for the Texans. And Stroud looks to throw, has time, floats one down the left seam, and that is going to be intercepted, I think. And that is indeed intercepted, and the Chargers get another takeaway, as the Chargers now will get the ball back, and this is a massive takeaway by the Los Angeles Chargers. So now the Texans are in more trouble now. They had to punt already from their own zone, but an interception made it not matter. So there's 1 foot, and yeah, he got 2 feet down. I think the main question is going to be about control, because both of his feet came down, and that is ruled a takeaway, so already a big-time takeaway for this defense. Already 2 of them so far. An interception and then a fumble. So, not looking too good for Houston. So, we'll see what happens. But, of course, I do have a little meme prepared for when for if the Ravens do end up beating the Steelers. I don't know if y'all can see this very well, but here it is. I got that meme. Pretty much, I've been doing good at creating these type of memes. I don't know if y'all could see it, but it's a meme I'm going to use if the Steelers do go 1 and done, which I believe they will. So pretty much, it's a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote scene. As you can see right here, it's a meme that I created. Steelers are 1 and done. Deal with it. Pretty much, it's the Roadrunner doing that, of course. I've been doing really good at creating those type of sneaky memes. So, we'll see, of course, if that is going to happen today, because that game is indeed today. And then also, before my predictions of next week, I will, of course, have my power rankings out, ranking the 8 teams in the NFC, in the entire NFL. So, we'll see, of course, if that's going to be a good thing or not. So, we'll see, of course, what happens in that circumstance. Let me get to the power rankings area. There we go. Back down to 8. There we go. But the Chargers, I think they're showing their last playoff win, which I believe was in 2018 against the Baltimore Ravens, which was the last game with Phil, which is one of the last games with Philip Rivers. Which is the last time they got the win. So now the Chargers are inside of the Texas 40, and Herbert looks to throw, has some time, throws it deep left, And that one is intercepted. And it is number 4 on the play. And Zeister gets an interception for Houston. And just like that, the Texans answer with a takeaway. And the first takeaway for the Texans today. So the first interception by either quarterback today. The other interception just happened earlier. So Lester was the one that got the interception. So the Texans defense comes up with a massive takeaway on defense. So now their offense needs to put up a response. Their offense has to put up a response here, I believe, if they're going to have a chance to get themselves back in the game. But amazing read by number 4, Lester. What an amazing read. He got in front of Quinton Johnston. He got in front of Johnston and got him. And just was able to get the pick. But now they're pinned at the 10. And Stroud throws one. It is going to be caught by Collins, his first catch of the day. And he gets a first down for the Texans. 11 minutes to go in the game. So Houston trying to get some points on the board. So we'll see if they can ultimately do that. So 1st and 10 for the Texans. Nico Collins' first catch of the day today. So we'll see if he can get more of those catches, because I think Nico Collins will be a good piece in this game. No barking, guys. So 1st and 10 for the Texans. Rose, come here. Never mind. And a pass was thrown to John Mechie, but incomplete. It was batted away and incomplete by the Los Angeles in the secondary of Los Angeles. But Mechie tried to catch it, but had it batted down by number 32. And I believe Gilman. I think it was Gilman. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Texans. Let's see if they can get something going. Stroud looks to throw. He's in trouble, and that time he's sacked again. And this time it's Khalil Mack in there for his first sack of the day. And Stroud is taken down. But the Chargers defense has been really good. And Jim Harbaugh has really rebuilt this team really well. So we'll see, of course, if they do beat the Texans today. They would have to wait for the result of the Bills and Broncos game to decide who would go against Kansas City. It would either be the Chargers or Denver Broncos. So, and Stroud in shotgun floats one. It is going to be caught, but not enough. It was caught by Mechie, but not enough for a first down. And the Texans are going to have to punt it away. After getting an interception, they can't seem to improvise on the takeaway. And now the Chargers are once again going to get the ball back. So we'll see what ends up happening in that circumstance. And the punt is back to the Chargers. And it'll be caught at the 25. And that is where the Chargers will start. So it'll be right back. We're going to go to commercial and see what happens there. Well, hold on. I'm going to go grab one of my pups real quick. Hold on. All right, I got one of my pups with me. This is my little Zarabi girl. This is one of the little 2 pups I have. So, this is my little puppy Zarabi. She thinks she sees a puppy on the screen, which could be true because lots of commercials are playing right now. So, but yeah, this is one of my 2 little pups right here. But yeah, so we'll see what ends up happening in this. We'll see if the Chargers can put up some more points. But yeah, it's going to be a very fun, interesting game. But yeah, sometimes what Robbie likes to do on this chair is she likes to get up on my shoulders and she likes to lay down behind me. And you can see she's got like a little perch on me. So, oh, do you see yourself in the camera? Do you see yourself? Oh, I know. She sees puppies on the on the TV, so she might try and bark at some of them. So, if you see Robbie try and do that, that's what she does. She barks at animals on TV. She barks at animals off the TV. So, yeah, it's what she does. I know. I know. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I know. Oh, shush. Shushy. But I know. But yeah, this is where Robbie likes to be perched up during when I sit down in this new chair that I got. So, of course, if you see her, that is what Robbie looks like. So, yeah, she's a good pup to have around. All right, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. But the next game tonight will be, of course, the Ravens at home taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see what happens in that situation. So that'll be a very fun, interesting game. So here, I'll let you lay down. I'll let you lay down right there. Nope. Nope. There you go. Okay. So me and Robbie will help call this, I'm assuming. But it's 1st and 10 for the Chargers, and it's a handoff to Dobbins, and gets a yard on the carry. And, oh, do you not like that? Do you not like that? But Dobbins was just trying to get there. But Herbert's not had an interception since week 2 against the Carolina Panthers, so, or at least on the road. So that's his first interception on the road. So 2nd down and 9 for the Chargers. Herbert now in the lone shotgun. Herbert takes the snap, floats it behind to Davis, but is trucked immediately, and it's the same guy that had the interception, and it's Lester in there for the bring down. So that'll bring up 3rd down and manageable. 3rd down and long coming up for Houston. Trying to get, 3rd down and long for the Chargers. So Los Angeles trying to get something on the board. It's 3rd down and 12. They lead by 6. So Houston, if they get to stop, they might have a chance to come back in this game. But neither side has made a 3rd down conversion yet. Can the Chargers be the first? Herbert has time, throws it, and it is going to be caught by McConkey. It's got 1st down and the first 3rd down conversion of the day. And it's to let McConkey and the Chargers to do that. But, oh, yep. Robbie likes to lay down right here. This is one of her personal favorite spots. So she likes to lay down right here. So, yeah. She's a good puppy to have around. So, if y'all want to see her on the cast, this is where she'll be at. So, 1st and 10 for the Chargers. And the first 3rd down conversion of the day by either side. And Dobbins tries to get some yardage. He only gets 2, I believe, on the carry. So, that'll bring up 2nd down for the Los Angeles Chargers. Only a gain of 2. So we'll see if the Chargers can get more points on the board, trying to extend their lead. They have a lead by 6 right now. It's 6-0. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. And of course, at halftime, we are going to give my pal Steven a call. So let me see, of course, if he's gotten back to my text yet. So it is 2nd down and 8 for the Los Angeles Chargers. And Herbert looks to throw, has some time, floats one, and that is incomplete, intended for McConkey, and it's Derek Stingley Jr. in there for the tackle, in there for the hit. And now we have 3rd down and 8 again. 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 3r Oh, oh, sorry. Sorry about that, guys. It's yeah. But yeah, Robbie, she gets a little separation anxiety with some of the other people in the household, but yep. Oh, wait. Yeah, I know you like. I know you see it. I know. But yeah, and it looks like Daniil Hunter was able to get there, and let's see what happens. So Herbert threw and it's incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down and 8 coming up for the Chargers, and the Chargers will have to punt it away again. So it's pretty much gone back and forth. No touchdowns as of yet. 6 minutes to go for the Texans to try to get something on the board before the half. And it'll be, oh man, is it going to be down inside the 2? And it's down at the 2 by the Chargers special teams. So the Texans will have to start from the 2. So we'll see what, of course, happens there. Oh. And Robbie this is our first time in the camera, so we'll, of course, see what ends up happening. So it'll be go to break, we'll go to commercial and see what ends up happening in there. But yeah, this game's been very good so far. I would say a key for that I have for the Texans right now is to see if they can stop the Chargers, which they've been doing really good at since the first 2 drives. Other than that, they've been doing really good other than that, regardless. So, oh, do you want to go here? All right, go on ahead. Go ahead. So, and then, let me see if I can grab it out. Hold on. Yeah, whenever I pick up one of the pups, Robbie normally likes to be around as well. So, this is another one of my little pups to Robbie, Nala, as you can see right here, but probably can't see her, but that's Nala right there. That's where Nala is, so she's always a good pup. She's always a good pup. She's not one of those pups that likes to rest up on me, but I always want to see if she can. But of course, yeah, Nala likes to be right up on the shoulder, and then also along with Robbie as well. So yeah, these are 2 little pups. That one's there's to Robbie, and then that one's Nala as well. So, oh, you want down, Nala? You want down? Okay, come here. Oh, I'm just letting you down. Okay, so we'll see. Chargers are trying to get a first playoff win since 2018. So we'll see if the Jim Harbaugh can lead them to a victory. So seeking to become the 4th head coach to win a national championship and also win a Super Bowl all time, along with former Seahawks coach Pete Carroll as well. So we'll see, of course, if Jim Harbaugh can do that during his time in Los Angeles, which I think he's got a good team around him in the Chargers. If they go out there and get a few more weapons in the draft and also free agency, who knows? They might contend for a Super Bowl sooner rather than later. Who knows? But handoff of the middle to Mixon, he's got a few yards and gets out inside of the 5 and still going out to the 7. So the Texans get out of the end zone area, so that is really good news as well. So, yep, but my little pups really like having our company in the household. So each of the drives have been like 3 to 4 plays, and then they've had to punt. So we'll see what happens in this drive. So it's 2nd down and 4 now for the Texans. And Stroud is in the end zone. He's being pressured, has to throw it away. But is that going to go out as intentional grounding? Let's see what happens here. It's 2nd down and 4. Harbaugh wants a grounding. Let's see what happens. If that's a grounding, that's going to be a safety. So let's see if they're going to signal that. It doesn't look like it. Let's see. There was no receiver in the area. The free tackle box, I think it was outside of it. And it did get back to the original line of scrimmage. And Harbaugh for sure wanted an intentional grounding. And I don't blame him. So it's 3rd down and 4 for the Texans. Trying to get a first down. And Stroud floats it left. It is caught by Collins. And gets enough for a first down. Tried to stay on his feet. But couldn't get farther than that. But that'll bring up another first down for the Texans. But let me know if you like the spot for Sarabi. If you like seeing Sarabi on screen. But, yeah, that was a good catch by Nico Collins. That was a good catch. Oh, you watching the game? Huh? You watching the game? But it's 1st and 10 for the Texans at the 13-yard line. And a handoff to Mixon down the left. And he's going to break through some guys and gets a gain of 3 to maybe 4. And that'll bring up 2nd down for the Texans. It was Khalil Mack in there for the tackle. But we'll see if the Texans can get something on the board. They need to get some kind of score on the board before the half. So we'll see if they can do that. So it is currently 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard gain by the Houston Texans. So we'll see if they can do that. But Stroud floats one left. It is caught by Mechie. And it looks like he's got a first down. It'll depend on the spot. So, of course, wait and see what happens. Oh, what? What? But she might see herself in the reflection of the screen. She might see herself. I'm not sure. But Mechie gets a catch and a first down for John Mechie and the Texans. But it's 1st and 10 for the Texans. But, what do you need to go see? Oh. And Stroud looks to throw. He's being pressured, has to throw it, and he does. Almost intercepted again. And Robert Woods was the intended target. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Houston Texans. And Poona Ford, another former Seattle Seahawk, was one of the guys in there on the pressure. And he was the guy that brought him down. And Poona Ford, I did like him when he played in Seattle. And he's been a really good piece. And I believe Ford is going to be one of those guys, sneaky guys to keep an eye on. So it's 2nd down and 10. And be sure to also comment if you all want to in the chat. So it's 2nd down and 10 for the Texans. And Stroud looks to throw, has some time, pressure comes and throws. It is going to be caught by Xavier Hutchinson, but there is a flag, so hold on. There is a flag down, so we'll see what happens there. So there's a flag down. Let's see what goes on here. Let's see. Here's the call. Okay, so it's a tripping call against the Texans. And Robbie's looking over at the rest. But yeah, you might see someone in here's eating. But yeah, so Robbie's ever since I got this new chair, she's been behind one of us on this chair. So 2nd down and 21 after the penalty. Stroud floats one right. It is going to be caught by the rookie out of Ohio State and former Ohio State teammate to Stroud, Cade Stover. So Stover gets a catch, maybe a gain of a yard or so. But it brings up a 3rd down and long for the Texans. And it was Dye in there on the tackle. So to bring up 3rd down and 16 for the Texans. So let's see what is going to happen here. So it's third down and 16 for the Texans. They need to get a first down to keep the drive alive. And Stroud has trouble with the snap. Tries to get it away. He has to throw. He does, and that is going to be caught by Xavier Hutchinson down at the 50. What a great recovery by Stroud, and a huge recovery for a big-time first down. What a play, just like how they drew it up. I mean, I don't think they drew that up, but hey, they'll take it because that is a first down for Houston. And yeah, I see a lot of blue in there, also along with a lot of red and black, or lots of red and navy. But that'll take us to the 2-minute warning of the first half of the first quarter of the second quarter. So at the half, we're going to give one of my pals a call. So we'll see what, of course, happens. But be sure to shoot me down in the comments if you all have any questions for me, or if you all would like to comment on my chat. So we'll see, of course, if the Texans can get themselves back in this game. They're currently down by 6. And then a few games later on that is going to go down today is, of course, going to be the Steelers and the Ravens. I might do that game. I might not. I'm still contemplating if I'm going to do that game. I might not, just that way I can get some rest up for tomorrow. I have an early shift in the morning, so I may not do the one of the Bills and the Broncos. I may possibly do Packers-Eagles. I might possibly do that. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do the Sunday night game between of course, the Commanders and Bucks, even though I really want to. I have my mom. I live in a household, and my roommate needs to get to work at like 6 in the morning. So I may not do the Commanders and Bucks, just so that way that we get some good sleep. And then also that's the same reason for tonight. So I may call for like Saturday or Sunday off of next week, so that way I can do the divisional games. I might try and also do the championship games also, but I will for sure be doing the Super Bowl. I will for sure be doing that. And then also my total record on the regular season was 189-84. So that's a really good record. It improved my record from last year, so that's a very big improvement. So hoping to stay under 100 wrong picks, hoping to stay under 100. So we'll see, of course, if that's going to happen. So, but of course, if the Chargers do win this game and the Broncos lose, it'll be the Chargers going on the road to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, if that does end up being the case. Which I think it will be, because I don't think Denver's going to lose. Denver's going to win against the Bills. I mean, that's a rarity. But we'll see what happens there. But it's 1st and 10 for the Texans at the 49-yard line of the Chargers, inside of Chargers territory now. So 2 minutes to go. They still got all 3 timeouts. So they still got plenty of time before the half. Stroud throws one. It is going to be caught, but was it fumbled again? Oh, no, they're saying it's incomplete that time. That time they're saying it's incomplete. So that would have been another catch and a fumble, but instead it's ruled incomplete. So let's see. Here's 2 feet, and then the ball came out. They look for the 3rd foot. That's something I know. They look for the 3rd foot down. If that 3rd foot's not down, it's incomplete regardless. So that's a really good call by the officials. So it's 2nd down and 10 for the Texans. Trying to get a big first down here. But we'll see, of course, what they can end up doing. And Stroud looks to throw. Has some time. Floats one down the mid. And it's caught by Collins. Watch out. He's got a first down inside of the 15 and up to the 13. And the Texans are starting to move. And they are very well in red zone range. And the Texans fans finally have something to cheer about. Let's see if they can get it into the end zone. But what a catch by Collins. And then the speed afterwards. eventually Gilman had to get down there and tackle him, bring him down. So that was really good, a really good catch by Nico Collins. Let's just see if they can get the first touchdown of the game. And Stroud has a Mixon in the back. Hands it off to Mixon, but is not going to go anywhere on the play. Maybe, in a matter of fact, lost one. So it was Puna Ford in there for the tackle for loss. And a timeout called by the Chargers, trying to see if they can also score before the half as well. And we'll see, of course, what is going to end up happening. I do believe this might be a low-scoring type of affair, just because it is a playoff game. And it's certainly looking like it's going to be a low-score affair, just looking at it right now. But it's second down and 11. It's out to the 13-yard line of the Chargers. So Texans got a really good setup in a good setup to get a touchdown here, or get some kind of score. Because I think they really right now just need a score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. They need to score regardless. So, hold on. Let me get you out of there. Hold on. There we go. There. Well, here we go. Second down and 11 coming up for the Texans. Stroud throws it. It is incomplete. Intended for Robert Woods, but no flags, and it's incomplete. Third down and 11 coming up for Houston. And that stops the clock because it was an incomplete pass. Well, we'll see, of course, what happens. But yeah, I got my little puppy surrounding me on my shoulder here, if you can see her. But here we go. Let's see if the Texans can get some points on the board. So it's third and 11 now for the Texans. So let's see if the Texans can respond with a score this time. Stroud looks to throw. Does. It is caught by Collins. And that time, that is a touchdown for Houston. And the Texans are 1 point away from taking the first lead of the game. And just like that, Houston has some life just before the half. And a big-time touchdown for the Texans. It was Nico Collins in there for the touchdown. And just before the half expires, the Texans at last get on the board. So that is really, really good. And I think that needed to happen for the Texans to give them some momentum going into the second half. So that is really good news. But now can they make the extra point attempt? Kick is on the way, and he's got it. That is good. So the Texans take a 7-6 lead with about 2 seconds, under a minute to go. And that will give the Chargers one more chance to try to put up a score before the half. So we'll see, of course, what happens in that circumstance. But I'm going to give my pal Steven a call at the half. Or maybe not. I might try to call someone else. So let me see. Let me see who else. Let me see. Okay, I sent my pal a text. So we'll see what the Chargers can do with this, with the last few seconds on the clock. So Chargers trying to get some points on the board before halftime. There's only 1 minute to go before the half. So we'll see if the Chargers can put up a score before that happens. So we'll see what happens there. So Chargers will get the ball back with about 58 seconds to go. So now Chargers will need to try and put up a score. They still have 2 timeouts. And it goes into the end zone for a touchback, which will bring it up to the 30. But Xavier Hutchinson on that big catch down at the 50, that was really freaking good. And that is ultimately the play that helped this drive. So, Robbie, what are you doing? Hold on. Yeah, Robbie likes to sit up here. I'm just seeing what if I can help her to a different position. There you go. There. You comfy there? Good. All right. First and 10 for the Chargers at the 30-yard line. And Herbert takes a snap, looks to throw, has some time, pressure's coming, throws. It is incomplete. Lot of contact. And there is no flag. It was intended, I believe, for Joshua Palmer. No, it was DJ Shark. I didn't even know he was still on that team. He must have been claimed off waivers. So DJ Shark tried to catch it, but couldn't quite bring her down as a lot of contact was going down. I think it was a little bit of both. So we'll see if the Chargers can get on the board before half. 52 seconds to go. 2 timeouts for the Chargers. So we'll see what the Chargers do on this drive. So Herbert looks to throw, in trouble, hit it, and he throws. Oh, man, just overthrew Ladd McConkey down the field. And if that would have been at just the right spot, he would have been that would have been gone for a touchdown. But just overthrown. And now 45 seconds to go, which the Texans might have one more shot to try to get on the board. We'll have to wait and see on what the Chargers can do. I think that hit on Herbert before might have been the thing that might have caused it to go into throw it that far. That's what I believe might have happened. So it's 3rd down and 10. Jim Harbaugh's first playoff game in his return to the NFL. So we'll see what he does on this drive, and also feel free to comment on this in the live chat. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. And Jim Harbaugh is going to use one of his timeouts to talk things over with Justin Herbert. But of course, at half, we're going to give one of my pals a call. We'll see if that's going to either be my cousin or if that's going to be my pal Steven, which you all might have heard him before. So we'll see what happens there. So it's 3rd down and 10 for the Chargers. If they don't get a first down, the Texans will have one more chance to put some points on the board before the half. And the Texans fans are waving those white towels, and you can see them right now. So it's 3rd down and 10 for the Chargers. Texans trying to get one more crack at a score before the half. But they need to get this stop first. And Herbert looks to throw. Pressure coming from behind from Will Anderson. Alshire brings pressure, throws, and that is incomplete. Intended for Johnston, but incomplete. He tried to catch it, but I don't think he was in bounds. It was caught, but it was out of bounds. So let's see what happens here. Pressure was being brought by both Alshire and then also along with Will Anderson Jr. Pressure was being brought by those two. And then the pressure by Alshire was really good too. Oh, nope, it was incomplete. It just hit the ground. So Texans will have one more chance to put some points on the board. And that kick was almost tipped again. And returned by Robert Woods down the right seam. Breaks through a man and down to the 32. And the Texans will start from there. With 29 seconds left to play, the Texans have all 3 remaining timeouts. So they have plenty of time to get down the field and get a score on this drive. Maybe get a field goal to send into the half. That would be my personal suggestion. Then the offense of Houston has now gotten itself back in this game. So that's really good. And I think that needed to happen on that drive to get themselves back in the game. So Stroud out to the 32. They need to get to the 42 at least for a first down. And Stroud looks to throw, has time, floats it left, and is caught by Mechie and gets tackled out of bounds. And that will be about a gain of 3 to 4. And that was a good play, a good call by C.J. Stroud. Save your timeouts, continue to go out of bounds, and save as much time as you can. And save as many timeouts as you can, of course, once you get into field goal range, which is good clock management by D'Amico Ryans. So, 2nd down and 6 coming up for Houston. And they're up to the 36-yard line. Stroud looks to throw. Pressure being brought. He's going to run it. Oh my goodness, he's got speed and he's in field goal range. And 13 seconds to go, and they're going to have to call one of their timeouts. And Stroud got hit pretty hard, but Stroud is hyped up. Man, that was really good. But and one play I did like from Stroud, this was last season, when one of the Bronco players was up in his face, he let him come at him. And then, obviously, the Bronco player drew the flag. That was the best part I liked from C.J. Stroud. He didn't get too heated against the Broncos in that game last year. And he ultimately led the Denver Bronco guy to getting flagged, which is something I really like. And then also I like the fact that he thanks God, Savior Jesus Christ up in the heavens. I do like that. Every time that they have a game, every time that he goes on a press conference interview, he always says first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And that is something I really personally like. I like seeing that from players, and C.J. Stroud, I really like that, especially coming from an NFL player and primarily the quarterback position. So it's 13 seconds. I would probably try a pass down the left seam. Try to at least get a few more yards. And they're going to run it this time to Mixon, and they're going to have to call one of their 2 timeouts, and that is exactly what they are going to do. And the Texans might have a chance to run down the clock and send it to halftime with putting up a touchdown or maybe like a field goal. And I don't know if y'all can see, but one of my pups is right behind me. And I think she's right now taking a nap. I'm not sure. My pup back here is Robbie. If you haven't seen her already. But yeah, she's a good girl. But it's second down and 5 for Houston, and they have 1 timeout left. I'd probably try a little run here, maybe see what you get, or they're going to pass, and that is going to be called by Woods, and they'll use that last timeout. And now bring up 6 seconds to go, and a big-time catch by Robert Woods. Robert Woods has been all over the place. He's been with the Rams. He's been with so many different teams. And he's one of the best veteran wide receivers, I believe, right now. Or at least one of those dark, sleepy guys. The guys you don't want to sleep on. And the Texans are going to send out their field goal unit. And Jim Harbaugh does have 1 timeout left, so he could try to ice the kicker. So this, of course, would probably send it to the half if it goes through. So it'll be a 41-yard attempt for the kicker for the Houston Texans. We'll see if the Texans can get this one. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to use one of his timeouts to try to ice the kicker. And the kick is on the way, and for right now, it's good. Was there no timeout call? No timeout was called, so the Texans are now leading by 4, 10-6. With 3 seconds remaining in the ball game. So Jim Harbaugh might try to call one of those Hail Mary type passes. We've seen it before. I mean, Hail Marys are a rare thing. Hail Marys are a rare occurrence. So we'll see if they are going to do that. I think that the Chargers might just take a knee and send it to the half. Because, of course, the Texans do get the ball to start the second half. So that's already a good thing for them just putting up a touch for them getting both a touchdown and then also a field goal. That really helps them. But, of course, you can see a little Sarabi here. Let's see here on my shoulder. But, of course, if the Chargers do end up winning this game, they would either need the Ravens to beat the Steelers on... So the 2 scenarios here. Either, one, the Steelers end up surprising against the Ravens and end up winning the game. And then if the Broncos would lose that game, then it would be the Steelers taking them on. However, if it's the other way around, if the Steelers and Broncos lose, then they would need then the Chargers would meet up with the Chiefs in Kansas City. But that is now halftime, and one of the players is actually hurt on the field on the return. I believe it's Davis, the return guy. Oh, Crosby, puppy. Oh, yep. Oh, Crosby raid again. This is third second one this year. My goodness, but how's it going, everyone? Hey, I appreciate you guys in here. Yep, I know. Lots of this is one of my puppies to Robbie, but yeah. But man, we just hit halftime, so I appreciate the Grazi rate. Please be sure to like and subscribe on this channel because I've been doing really good on my predictions as of this year. I've had 189 correct, while I've had only 84 wrong. So yep, this is one of my little puppies here. So appreciate all the love from the Grazi posse. I appreciate all of it because I might soon, depending on what Perna says, I might be joining y'all pretty soon. Who knows? Because that is going to be really good. Yeah. Yep, Robbie, you can all say hi. But, man, lots of good stuff. Let me know what team you're a fan of, Seahawks. I see a lot of Seahawks here. See a lot of blue and orange. I'm thinking that's Denver. But oh, yep. I'm in communication with Perna right now. I'm in communication with him. I called him a few weeks ago, so I'm currently in contact with him. Maybe, who knows? We'll see. I might see you all on GPS, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. But, yeah, I do have the Chargers picked in this game as well. But, yep, Philly. I mean, and also, I want to throw out a question to some people in here. What is your early Super Bowl prediction? What's your early Super Bowl prediction as of right now? Be sure to shoot it down to me in the chat. Oh, I see Chiefs, Raiders, Ravens. I mean, we'll see, buddy. We'll see, Iggy. Yep, Lions, Ravens. That's a good prediction. Ravens over Lions. Yeah, Packers, maybe. We'll see if they can get past the first round. Lions, Bills, I do think that might be one. Right now, currently, I think it might come down to Kansas City and Lions. That's my personal opinion. I believe that the Lions are going to meet up with the Chiefs. That's my personal prediction. But be sure to like and subscribe. But I'm going to give my pal here a call. So in case you all are new, I do calls at half, so we'll see, of course, if Steven is going to pick up. So we'll see what happens here. So give him a call. I'm going to put him on speaker, so let's see what happens. All right, let's see if he'll answer. Let's see if Steven will answer. And I do know he's on the road right now, so he might not pick up. So we'll see, of course, what happens there. Yeah, he might be out and about, which is all right. That's pretty good.
You reached 702.
Yep. But, yeah, apparently it didn't work. But let me see who else I can try to get on here. Let me see if Tony is available. Let me just call her and see if she'll be okay with talking on live. Let me see. Oh, wait, Robbie. Let's see if she picks up. And Tony, my aunt might be out right now. I do have a lot of family I do keep in contact with throughout the season.
Your call has been forwarded to...
I know. But, yeah. But, and be sure to like and subscribe on this channel. But, of course, yeah. If you want to check out some of my videos, I do some NBA and NHL as well. I'll be getting into that more once the NFL season does come to a close. I will have a prediction video on the called National Championship game between Ohio State and Notre Dame. I'll have my prediction there, and then also on my thoughts on keys in that game. But I want to talk about some teams that are currently both in the playoff race and then also outside of it, since we didn't have some pals to call. So, well, first off, I want to start off with my team, the Seahawks. Although we went 10-7, we didn't make the playoffs because, of course, the strength of victory over the Rams, with the Rams having it clinched it the week prior. Then recently they fired Ryan Grubb. I do believe that was the right move. I do believe firing Ryan Grubb was indeed the right move. Because the offense, it's a constant thing I have said on my channel, if y'all are new. If the Seahawks need to start running the dang ball, because this is a constant thing I've said, and probably every single NFL fan knows this. When you're on the road in an environment like a San Francisco, for example, you need to be able to establish the run. If you can establish the run on the road and use it to constantly to silence the crowd on the road, that would potentially work. And you got two really good running backs in Charbonnet and K9. And for some reason, and when Charbonnet came in for K9, he actually was really good. He didn't have that many yards, but he had touchdowns. He had, if I remember correctly, I think he had like 8. But a main reason why I think they should start more on the run, Charbonnet kind of gives me vibes of like a Marshawn Lynch. He can kind of bulldoze over guys. He's kind of like a bowling ball, if you ask me. And then K9, he's kind of like the guy that can sneak out routes. He can kind of like sneak in the routes. He can kind of create speed on breakouts by making missed tackles. But I do think one of two things could happen. One, the Seahawks do attempt to try and trade for J.J. McCarthy. I do believe that is an option, and I'm willing to opening to that, since Minnesota is currently in a talk with this. But DJ Dallas is an Arizona Cardinal. He's a member of the Arizona Cardinals now. But, and DJ Dallas is a really good player. I hope he has a lot of success in Arizona. Of course, not when it comes to facing Seattle. But this Seahawks team, I've said it for a few years during my time on this channel. I feel like we're personally one thing away. And I believe right now that is a quarterback. I say one of two things. You already heard me explain part of my first one. Do try to go after J.J. McCarthy. I do believe Minnesota is going to try to contemplate whether or not to keep Sam Darnold and try to risk it with him, or if they want to do indeed try with a J.J. McCarthy, which I'm hoping we get J.J. McCarthy because he would fit really well with the system. He has some familiarity with Mike McDonald. And then another option number 2, is go out there and draft a quarterback. Now, the pick they have right now is number 18, which I believe they might go after offensive line. One guy that I have kind of off the radar. This guy's he set an Ole Miss record of Eli Manning's total wins. And this guy, I've watched him, and the main game that made him stand out was the one against Georgia. Because Georgia is now the new top dog of the SEC. And this guy, I believe the Seahawks might go after him in the 3rd or 4th and 5th round. Jackson Dart. I've said it for a few times. If you go after Jackson Dart, I would personally draft him if he's still available then. And or number 3, try to tank or try to do something next year. Maybe either tank or try to trade up. Maybe go after Arch Manning. That's another option because Arch Manning, now that Quinn Ewers is going to be heading to the NFL, he's ultimately going to be taking over for the Texas Longhorns. But that's going to be really good. But also another thing I wanted to mention, I said it during my Bills talk, I do want to send my prayers to the city of Los Angeles. Because Los Angeles is going through a lot of hard times right now. There's a lot of fires going on up there. Even Florida, which I don't even know how that's possible. But I'm really hoping all the people in Los Angeles are okay. I'm really hoping that everybody there is safe and evacuated in time if it is needed. And hopefully everyone in LA is okay. the location of that game between the Vikings and the Rams was moved to Glendale, Arizona, to the Cardinals Stadium, which is, of course, State Farm Arena. But another team I wanted to talk about was a different team, also in the division, the Arizona Cardinals. I know Tom Grossi. I watch him every time, so that way I can see what he's talking about. I watch many other guys, so that way I know what people are talking about. I get where Tom Grossi's coming from, as far as like having the Arizona Cardinals as a dark horse. I totally understand, because many people would not expect Arizona to do good unless they're facing against Seattle. But and I've said it a few times. Unless Arizona beats Seattle, I will not be sold on them until that happens. But one thing I will say about the Cardinals is this. They kind of give me a vibe of the 2022 Detroit Lions. Remember when the Packers got eliminated by the Detroit Lions? When Dan Campbell pretty much said, if we ain't going, you ain't going? This team has really reminded me about that. Because one thing I really like, don't get me wrong, I think Kyler Murray does need to get better in his game and ultimately needs to stop playing Call of Duty. But Kyler Murray, this guy has potential. If he's used right, they could be a good team. They led the division for about 30%, for like 5% of the year, which they led it for a few weeks before eventually Seattle took over in that state, and then the Rams would eventually go and win on. But main thing I want to see from the Cardinals, I think they need some help on their offensive line. Because if you're going to be if you're competing against other defensive linemen like a Nick Bosa, like a Jared Verse, like Leonard Williams, you need to have offensive linemen to protect you from them. And when you're going against a division in the NFC West, which is one of the most dominant competitive divisions in the NFC, you need to find some way to stop those guys. And the ultimate reason why I like how we brought in Mike McDonald is because of his defensive mastermind. He stopped the San Francisco 49ers during Christmas. He ultimately stopped them. And he did that just this past year in week 11 when the Seahawks went on the road to San Francisco. And the main reason why I like Mike McDonald as a head coach is because of his defensive mind. He's a really good guy. I really like his defensive mentality. And also, if we get an offensive coordinator that is actually really good and can make non-predictable play calls, the Seahawks could probably just maybe, be a contender in the future. Who knows? Because what I'm seeing from Seattle right now is really scary. The defense is constantly growing. You got maybe some defensive guys on the defensive side. Maybe you get something in the draft. Maybe you go after Walter Nolan. Maybe a Jalen Walker. Maybe I don't know. But I like where this team is heading. And I'm hoping that Seattle can compete within the division next year. Because San Francisco, they don't know how to win when they're banged up. The Arizona Cardinals, they never know when to show up against Seattle. And then the Rams, they're beyond inconsistent. And we'll see, of course, what happens. But the game is about to come back on. So we'll see, of course, what happens in the remaining of this game. So pretty much the picture of what we're looking at right now. The Texans are the 4th seed. Meanwhile, the Texans are the 3 seed. My bad. Correction. Chargers are the 5 seed. Texans are the 4 seed. So what we're currently looking at right now is if the Chargers win today, let's say they win, then they would either need the Steelers to lose against the Ravens, and then they would need Buffalo to beat the Broncos to go out there and face a Kansas City squad. Because, I think right now Pittsburgh, they're either way. Because you never know what Pittsburgh's team is going to show up. You don't know if it's going to be the one that has been dominant for years. or if it's going to be the one and done teams that we've seen for the past 8 years. But here we go. We got some calls going. So a run to Mixon on the first play for maybe a gain of 4.5, maybe 5. And be sure to comment down in the comments if you all want to shoot me some questions or chat, anything. So let's see what is going to happen here. So pretty much the Texans currently lead right now 10-6. So Houston, I think they need to keep on piling on that lead if they're going to have a chance to stay in the lead. So we'll see what happens here. But Stroud hands it off to Mixon, but that time he's brought down, and Poona Ford was one of the guys in there. So that'll bring up third down and manageable for the Texans. So Chargers trying to get the ball back after 2 consecutive scoring drives by the Texans. It's third down and 5 right now for the Houston Texans. Let's see what they do here. Third down and 5. Stroud has 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and has Mixon in the backfield. Stroud looks to throw. Pressure comes, throws, and that is caught by Collins. He's got first down and more. Down to the 30 and brought down inside of the Chargers' 25-yard line. And oh boy, that crowd's getting nuts. That crowd's already getting nuts. They've been nuts since the Texans scored that touchdown. Which personally, I did have the Chargers in this game, but ultimately I know it's going to be a close battle because both these sides are not going to want to give up that easy. I know that much. But of course, if this does happen, it will be a very big question on who the Chiefs will have to face. Because if all the 3 seeds win, the 2, 3, and 4 seed win, then it would be Houston on the road. So, and Mixon trying to run, ball came loose, and there's a flag down in the area of holding. There was a fumble and recovered by the Chargers. So hold on, there's a flag. It's a fumble for the moment. I think it might be a hold on the Texans. Let's see what the call is. Here's the call. Yep, a holding against the Texans, so that'll be declined. So it'll be Chargers ball in the 1st and 10. And Mixon fumbles the ball, and what a good pop out by 23. That was a good play by the Chargers defense. And this defense has been one of the best scoring defenses in the NFL. So that is a really good sign for the Chargers. And I mean, Jim Harbaugh, I knew he was going to make an impact before. I just was not expecting a playoff appearance this soon. But of course, Jim Harbaugh, he can do anything. He turned around the 49ers very quickly, and now he's turned around the Chargers very quickly. So we'll see what the Texans try and do to stop this team. And the Texans have had 3 turnovers this game. So this is a really big thing. And I personally think that the Chargers need to get a score on this drive. Preferably a touchdown, but if a field goal happens, Chargers too much pass happy. Yeah, run the ball more. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Jesus M. So, Chargers trying to, and Herbert fakes the snap, looks to throw, caught by Ladd McConkey, the rookie out of Georgia. And a flag came in also at the end of the play. I believe it was a face mask. And that is what the indication is. It was a face mask at the end of the play. So that'll be an additional 15 yards from that spot. And then also, if you get my feed a little late because of the TV you have on your side, it's a thing with me because I have Q streaming. And I don't know if you all know what that is, but it moves slower on my side than it does with regular TVs. So hopefully y'all enjoy. So 1st and 10 for the Chargers inside the Texans territory after the penalty. So 1st and 10 for the Chargers inside the 45, up to the 42-yard line. 3 seconds to go on the play clock. And Herbert hands it off to Gus Edwards. Edwards gets about 3 to 4 yards on the carry. And now bring up second down. But a thing with the Chargers that I really like about their complementary scheme is indeed the run. I do like the running backs that they have with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, but also I like Glad McConkey in there. If they go out there and get another receiver in the draft or free agency next year, they could be a scary team in the future. If they get a few picks right, they could be a scary team in the future. So Chargers trying to get snap off, hands it off to Edwards again. That time he gets 3 to 4 yards, and pretty much that's been all that they've been doing right now. That'll bring up third down and short for the Los Angeles Chargers. But this has been a really very fun game. I mean, it's been a really good start to this game, and it's been really good since. And I knew this was going to be one of those iffy games. I knew it was going to be one of those 50-50 games, like you never know. So 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Third down and 2. A handoff to Edwards, but he's snuffed immediately. And it's Al-Shir. Aziz Al-Shir with the tackle. And now bring up fourth down. And the Chargers, I believe, will have to punt it. And I mean, he's good at some points, but at some other times he just doesn't know how to catch. And he came from TCU. So I know that school's a little iffy. So we'll, of course, wait and see what ends up happening. For the moment, it looks like they are looking to go for it. At the moment, they might just be trying to get... Oh, no, they're going for it. Herbert throws it right side. Caught by Johnston, but not enough. And it's a turnover on downs. And it'll be Texans ball at the 32-yard line. I personally would have taken the points. Because you're in field goal range. You have the ball at the 32. In any circumstance, whether you're on the road or at home, you take the points. So that is a big bad break for the Chargers. So now the Texans will get the ball back with a shot to try and score. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Yeah, I know. I saw that. But, man, this has been a really fun game. But also, if y'all want to chime in, who is your team in the NFL? Who is your favorite team in the NFL? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the via chat. On who your favorite team is for the NFL. But, man, I mean, the Texans, they've been kind of an up-and-down team. Their offensive line has struggled, but they've been doing a pretty good, decent job this game. They've been doing a really good job against this number one scoring defense. So, I really like what I'm seeing from Houston right now. I really am. So, we'll see what ends up happening there. If the Texans can keep this momentum going. But I did appreciate the Grazi raid as well. So, that's pretty good. So, we'll see what ends up happening in this circumstance. We're on commercial break right now. So, who is your favorite team in the NFL? Let me know in the chat who your favorite team is in the NFL. So, we'll wait and see what ends up happening. Let me go back into some of the chats that I did get. Let me go back and see. Yeah. So, yeah. Let me see what other ones. Okay. Stands versus Swifties. I'm not sure what that means. It was by Matthew Paul. Bills, Lions. I do like the Bills and Lions. I do like that matchup on how it sounds on paper. But I do think it's ultimately going to be Detroit and the Chiefs. I do think it's going to ultimately come down to that. So, all right, we're about to return from commercial. So we'll see what transpires here. If the Texans can put up another response, they have the lead right now. So we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, Johnston. Let's see what happens. So he caught it and then went down just 1 yard shy of the first down. So that is a really bad break for the Chargers. And if he would have gotten the first down, that would have probably been a really good play. But Stroud, all he's going to do is design QB run and slides down to the for a 4 yard gain on the play. So we'll see what ends up happening. So Stroud, I mean, this guy's been really good throughout his young career. But of course, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders have exceeded every one of my expectations, and probably everyone's expectations. The Commanders were expected to not be that good, yet they made the playoffs. And a dark horse I had the early part of the season was indeed the Minnesota Vikings. I did not expect them to compete for the number 1 seed. So 2nd down and 4. Throws. It is caught by Collins. First down down to the Texans 48-yard line. So we'll see what ends up happening there. So we'll see if the Texans can get some more points on the board. But Houston, if they keep this up, they can probably go out there and win this game. But we'll, of course, have to see if they can do it. 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first half. In the third quarter. Stroud looks to throw. Pressure's coming. Floats it. It is caught by Cade Stover, the rookie out of Ohio State. And that's a first down at the Chargers' 41-yard line. And another first down for the Texans. And the Texas offense has very much found their groove in this game. So that's really freaking good. Okay. So, and then I'm still trying to figure out on how to put up the scoreboards and all that on the screen. I'm still trying to figure that out. Currently streaming this on this stream on my iPad right now, just until I can get that part figured out. I'll probably get that figured out next season. But Stroud looks to throw. It is going to be caught by Stover, I think, for about a 7-yard gain. And it'll be 2nd down and 3 from the Chargers' 34-yard line. And a Charger is down. One of the Chargers is hurt on the play. It's Cam Hart, one of the rookies. Yeah, Cam Hart. Let's see. Ooh, he got jarred up in the head in the helmet. Let's see what exactly happened on that injury. Ooh, head to the helmet to helmet. That is gonna hurt every time. I don't even know how players can get up with some of these hits. I don't even know how some of the players can get up. Then again, I wasn't born and raised an NFL player. But yeah, so pretty much the circumstance that stands right now would either be if the Chargers or Texans win this game, they would need both the Bills and the Ravens to win in the next 2 days. Because what I'm thinking is what is going to happen is, the Broncos, they're a good team. Their defense is really good. What? There we go. Something weird was going on my screen. But as I was saying, the Broncos, don't get me wrong, they're a good team. I do like the fact that Bo Nix is performing really well right now. I just think when you're going against a team like the Buffalo Bills, that is going to be a tall task, especially to escape out of the first round. So I do have the Bills in that game because I do like the Broncos. I did like that they made the playoffs, but I personally need to see more from this team come into the playoffs. But Broncos, they had a good season regardless. No one expected them to be in the playoff picture when they were expected to be one of the few worst teams in the NFL. They come out here and have a 10-7 season. And then the Ravens, they've had a very interesting history with the Steelers. And the Ravens, every time that they face the Steelers under Lamar Jackson, it's always been a close game, except for the most recent one in Baltimore. I do believe the Steelers are going to try to put up a fight because it's a divisional rivalry game. But I do believe the Ravens are going to come out with this win because the Steelers, they just can't seem to show up in the playoffs because they've been one and done for 8 years, maybe soon to be 9. But if the Ravens, if that happens, then now instead of either Chargers and Texans going on the road to Kansas City. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting week in the NFL since it is Super Wild Card weekend. We'll see what happens, but we're about to come back from commercial. But then on Sunday afternoon will be when the NFC side starts, so that'll be interesting. Packers, I do believe they have a shot, but it'll all depend on Jalen Hurts, on how he plays. And second down and 3, Mixon runs out to his left. He's got first down and more inside of the 20, and the Texans are in the red zone area. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, something was going on my screen, so sorry about that. But let me see. Oh, I got it. Yeah, one of the guys I tried to call at half just contacted me, said that they're hanging out with someone. So either way, it's all good. So Stroud hands it off to Mixon again. Mixon has a lot of room down to the 7-yard line of Los Angeles. And the Texans, they've just come alive since that. Oh, wait a minute, we got a flag. And it's a hold on the Texans, so now back them up 10 yards from the previous spot. So now first down is totally negated. It's Titus Howard with the hold. Let's see what happened here. So, oh, yep, a hold on, not Puno Ford. So it was a hold on someone else from the defensive side. So, Texans trying to get a touchdown, trying to get another touchdown to extend their lead. And I did have the Chargers, as did Tom Grazzi as well. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But we'll see what happens. But Stroud looks to throw, has some time, floats it right side, and it is picked off in the end zone. It's Derwin James. And James returning down the right seam. Derwin James intercepted the ball and returns it back to the Chargers' own 41-yard line. For right now, it is an interception by Derwin James on Stroud, and that's the 4th Texans turnover of this game. Let's see what happened. Oh my gosh, Derwin James, my goodness, that was a heck of a pick. That was one heck of a pick. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like a pick to me. So it looks like they might bring it back because it looked like he was touched down in the end zone. So, and we got a flag at the end of it. I think it might have been an unsportsmanlike. Oh wait, nope, no flag. I guess there's no flag. So, Derwin James with another takeaway for this Chargers defense, and he's been one of those main key studs for this Chargers defense throughout the season, and then also along with Joey Bosa and also Khalil Mack. So we'll see what these guys can do. We got 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and there's still a ball game left. There's still a lot of football left. So there's still plenty of time for crazier things to happen. So there's no confirmation as of yet. Let's see what happened. Oh, Mixon. I think was there an unsportsmanlike? Was there a penalty against Joe Mixon? Let's see what the case is. They're reviewing the play, maybe seeing if the ball touched the ground as the ball was getting intercepted. I think that's what they're primarily looking at. I think they're looking if the ball did touch the ground. I believe that's what they're possibly looking at. They're going to go to break for the review. But The NFC picture is pretty interesting. I believe the closest game that we're going to see that week is going to be the Commanders and the Bucks. That I believe is going to be one of the more closer games. As far as like the Packers and Eagles game goes, I would have taken the Packers if Christian Watson was healthy, but because he's not, I'm actually going with the Eagles right now because I do believe that the Packers will put up a decent fight, but at the same time, with Christian Watson being out, that is a big missing key. And they need a different receiver. They need one of their good receivers to show up throughout majority of the game. They need to have someone show up. And then also, another team I'm very intrigued about is the Minnesota and LA matchup. Because that is now moved to Arizona after of course, the wildfires going on in Los Angeles right now. But I do believe the Vikings have a chance to win the game. I think the Vikings are overall the better team in this game. I think the Rams, they've been a good team for parts of the season, but I just don't trust the Rams when it comes to a big game because they've been inconsistent all year. We look at some of the games. They beat Seattle when the Seahawks ultimately beat themselves that game. What did they do that following week? Lost to the Miami Dolphins. And then when they beat New England, then that following week, what happened? Saquon Barkley constantly ran all over the Rams defense. And then you put up 44 points against the Bills, and then don't even put up a single touchdown against the 49ers, which you should have easily put a touchdown on the 49ers with the injuries that they've had. I mean, that's not that hard to do. The Seahawks did it. The Cardinals did it. The Rams did it once. The 49ers are just so banged up. And if there's any 49er fans in here, you might want to close your ears. I don't think Brock Purdy deserves an extension. Because, number one, he can't perform when the injuries are mounting. One thing I primarily see from quarterbacks, and I said this during some of my videos, you can go to my channel's description and look at some of the 49 videos I have made. The main thing that I have said when it comes to Mr. Brock Purdy, I know that the 49ers have been dealing with injuries, but look at the Detroit Lions right now. They were injury-ridden on the defense, and look at where they are. The number one seed in the NFC. Purdy needs to take that next step. If the 49ers are going to win the championship, they need to perform when their injuries are mounting. I'm so tired of the 49er fans making excuses. I'm really tired of the 49ers making excuses. If you put them in as a Super Bowl contender at the beginning of the year, you need to prove yourself regardless, injury or no injury. You need to show up when it matters. But that's just my personal opinion on that. Y'all can have yours. But now after review, according to it, it was ruled the ball touched the ground, but there was a penalty on Mixon. That was what happened. So pretty much what happened is the ball touched the ground. So the interception swiped out the board. Then there was at the end of the play, Joe Mixon, I believe, got into it with one of the Charger players and then had some kind of like unsportsmanlike conduct, which makes it now 2nd down and 30 now. But Stroud looks to throw, has time, he's going to run, dives ahead to the 31-yard line, but is not near, gets some of that penalty yardage back. And another flag. There's another flag down. Well, who's it on this time? Holding on the Houston Texans. And they're backed up 10 more yards. Now it'll be 2nd down and 40. But, man, it is one of the rookies, Blake Fisher. I think is he a rookie? I think he's a rookie. Don't hold me on that. I think he's a rookie. Don't hold me on that. But I really like the Buffalo Bills. I mean, I don't think they're going to come out of the AFC because I do believe it is going to be Kansas City. Because it is one thing I've said is we got to stop hating on the Chiefs. But I'll get into that later. But Stroud looks to throw, has some time, floats it left side. It is caught out of bounds, but another flag is down. It's incomplete. Out of bounds. It was Nico Collins that attempted target. There's another flag down, so offsides on the defense, so that'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Chargers. And as I was saying about the Chiefs, I do think we have to stop hating on them a little bit. Because I know that people are getting annoyed about them constantly winning it all, but they had the number 1 seed. And they were one of the worst teams, looked like one of the worst teams for some parts of the year. Yet this is the same team that went into Buffalo last year and beat them. And then a week later, it went into Baltimore and beat them also. But Stroud looks to throw, caught by Mixon down to the 33-yard line, and now bring up 3rd and long. So, but yeah, I do believe Kansas City is going to make the Super Bowl again, as they are accustomed to doing. But in Mahomes, he's made 6 AFC title games in all 6 years of his career. I mean, do you know of any other quarterback that's had that happen to him? Other than, of course, Tom Brady. But 3rd down and 22 for the Texans, trying to get into field goal range to try to attempt to extend their lead. Stroud throws one. He is caught by Collins down inside of the 20, but not enough for a 1st down. So it'll have to be a field goal kick for the Texans, which will put them up by a touchdown. But this game already, it was closer to begin with, but now the Texans' offense has kind of come alive. A little phlegm. Oh. So we got a field goal attempt. Freiberg has made one before. He's made one already today. 37-yard attempt for the Texans. Kick is on the way, and he's got it. It's good. Right down the middle. And the Texans lead 13-6, which means they're up by a touchdown. So, Chargers got a lot of ground to make up if they're going to get back in this game. So, about 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So, we'll see what happens there. Also, show of hands, how many people have seen Sonic 3? Show of hands. Because I did. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I really like what I saw from Sonic 3. I don't talk about movies that much on this channel, but when I'm doing live streams, I talk about some, because I'm very excited for some that are coming up. But I really liked Sonic 3. I really did. And I'm a huge Sonic guy. I was born and raised with it growing up. I was born and raised with Sonic since birth. Well, both Sonic and Mario. But that movie was freaking awesome. I love the soundtrack. I love the Keanu Reeves as Shadow. That was really good. But I don't know if many people saw the post-credits scene with, of course, the Sonic fighting. Well, I won't spoil anything for y'all. I won't spoil anything for you new viewers. But while we're on commercial, I am going to run and use the restroom real quick, but I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. So, Texans lead 13-6. So the other playoff game going on later on today is going to be Ravens hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not going to do that game, unfortunately, because I've already had a busy day ahead of me so far. But I'm going to be returned to the Chargers, and I'm not sure where it is. But Walter Payton Man of the Year award nominees for the Chargers is Cameron Dicker, and then also along with the Texans is Jalen Petrie. Which both guys are, Petrie, I watched that guy a few. I did call the game against the, what was it? Texans. I called the Texans and Lions. That game was really freaking good. But we'll see what the Texans can do here. So we'll see if Dicker gets that chance to kick game-winning field goal in this game. But Herbert, handoff, but is tackled only, I don't think he got anywhere on that play. I don't think he got yards. It was Eric Murray in there on the tackle. So Murray gets in there for the tackle and no gain on the play. So 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. So we'll see if the Chargers can get back in this game. They had the lead with about 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, so they'll have to try and get back the lead for the first time since then. So 2nd down and 10 for the Chargers. Herbert has time, looks to throws one behind the line of scrimmage. I do not like those plays. I really do not. Brought down for 4 yards, but ball popped loose, but recovered by the Chargers. So nowhere. So they get about 3 to 4 yards on the carry. But that'll bring up 3rd down and manageable for the Chargers. We'll see if the Chargers can get back in this game. It's going to be a tall task being on the road in Houston. That's going to be a very tall task. So 3rd down, and I believe I think so. 3rd down and 6. So Herbert has 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Herbert, what? Why did it do that? It did a little like faking. I'm not sure what happened there. It kind of like did a little playback. I'm not sure. So here we go. It's gonna go through this time. Here we go. 3rd down. So Herbert in trouble and sacked. And it is, I think it's Danico Autry. I think it was Autry. Yeah, Danico Autry in there for the sack. Yeah, Nico Autry, the former Tennessee Titan, in there for the sack. And that was a really good play. And a very good hit. Very punishing. But Autry has been one of those main key pieces for them. So it'll be 4th down and 2, and that will force the Chargers to have to punt it away. I'm going to switch stations for the game. There we go. All right, there we go. Sometimes it does it like a little play back, and then it'll not move forward. So we'll see what happens there. But all right, so the Texans will get the ball back. 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go before the end of the 3rd quarter. And then it'll be the 4th quarter, which it'll be either Houston or Los Angeles that moves on. So handoff to Mixon. Gets about 4 to 5 yards on the gain. I think he got 5. And Mixon gets a gain of 5. And it'll be 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Houston Texans. But yeah, some of the other teams that missed the playoffs, like the Atlanta Falcons, they were expected to be a little bit better. I mean, I do see a bright future for the Falcons. I mean, they got a little bit of a decision to make with Kirk Cousins. I do believe they might try and cut him, although they'll have to pay him his money. But Penix is really good. I'll give him that much. But Stroud tries to throw it, and it's incomplete. It is Jefferson, I believe, with the bat down. Oh, it was a tackle for loss by Jefferson. So 3rd down and 9 coming up for the Houston Texans. And Cam Hart is currently listed out with a shoulder injury. He is listed as questionable, so he might return. So that's an update we just got. All right. 3rd down and 9 coming up for Houston. Can they convert this time? And Stroud takes a snap, looks to throw, has a lot of time, throws it. It is caught, but not enough for a 1st down. Nico Collins is brought down immediately by number 0 for the Chargers defense, and that will force the Texans to punt it away. But let's see. Oh, Mechie had a big open lane down the field. It looked like Mechie could have been gone if he had thrown to him. So it's now 4th and 3. Are they going to go for it, or are they? Oh, they're going to try to punt it. But I would not be surprised, however, if they try to fake. So it's 4th and 3, and it will be a punt, no fake. So let's see what happens here. So it'll be kicked out of bounds. We'll see where the line judge puts him. And he puts him up to the 24-yard line of Los Angeles. And hopefully all those people in Los Angeles are okay, because we never like to see anybody get hurt. Never. Whether it's a fire, injury, we never like to see anybody get hurt. And I'm hoping that everyone in Los Angeles is okay, and also Florida as well. But I don't even know how Florida can get on fire, because I lived there for some time. It's raining there constantly. I mean, there's hot spots around there right now, but I don't even understand how there is fires up in Florida. I don't understand that. That's just me. But it's 1st and 10 for the Chargers. They have to get a touchdown to tie it up. 21 seconds to go before the end of the 3rd quarter, so this might be the last play of the third quarter. And Herbert takes a snap, looks to throw, does. It is overthrown and intercepted. Picked up by Eric Murray, and that is a house call, a pick 6 for the Texans. And that might just have been the dagger through the heart of the Chargers. That might have just sealed the deal. Who knows? But a huge pick 6 for the Houston Texans, and they'll soon lead. They'll have a 20-6 lead. But what a play! Just overthrew all he had. Lad McConkey. It just went right through his hands and went to Eric Murray for the pick 6 and a touchdown for Houston. So the Texans might have just won this game. I think they might have just edged their way to a victory. So we'll see if the Texans can keep this lead. And if they do, they will go into the division round for the 2nd straight year. And of course, their opponent will be decided later on. So we'll see what happens with the other AFC teams. King is on the way and good. So if Houston wins, now that we're looking at them, if Houston wins, they would then need, if they want to face Kansas City, I don't think they want to. They would then need the Bills to beat the Broncos, and then they would need the Ravens to beat the Steelers. And maybe another scenario that happens, we could see part 2 of Bills versus Texans. We could see part 2. We'll see what happens in that circumstance. I really hope that happens. But, of course, the Steelers would have to win. But we'll see what happens there. I don't expect the Steelers to win, but if they did, that would be surprising. So that, I think, might have just done it for this game. So 13 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and there's still 15 minutes left, so there's still time for the Chargers to try and come back, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Chargers had the lead for about 20 minutes before, 25 minutes before the Texans retook the lead. So Yeah. Houston, I believe they might just advance with that pick six. I think that might have just done it. So we'll see what happens with 13 seconds to go in the third quarter. And it'll be the fourth quarter when the next play goes down. But the Chargers will get the ball at the 30 after the touchback. But, yeah. But I think me and Tom might have been wrong on this. Because I had the Chargers and also Tom Grazzi had the Chargers. I did not know he went with the Chargers. And I make my picks in advance before I actually look at his videos. I make mine in advance. So it's 1st and 10 for the Los Angeles Chargers. They need to get at least 2 touchdowns to get back in this game. But Herbert, he needs to have a career. He needs to have some kind of fourth quarter magic if he's going to get back in this game. So handoff to Gus Edwards, gets about 2 yards on the carry, and the Texans defense is doing their job. They are just getting to the quarterback. They're just putting on the pressure. And Jim Harbaugh's first return to the playoffs, they had the lead, but they have given it up in a matter of through 1.5 quarters. And that's the end of the third quarter, and we're going to the fourth, where the Texans will have a chance to finish the job against the Chargers. And I think if the Texans get one more score, then they're going to win this game. Well, we'll see what happens in the rest of this game. But let me see what else is going on. Okay. So we'll see what happens in this circuit. We'll see what happens if the Chargers can try to come back. But I think if the Texans get one more score, then the game is over, I believe. So if the Texans get one more score, I think they'll head to the first round, to the divisional round. So we'll see what ends up happening, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay. But of course, we got other divisions, other wild card games. We got, of course, the game against the between the Ravens and the Steelers later on tonight, along with the followed up by the Bills and Broncos that following week, following tomorrow morning, and then we'll also have the Packers taking on the Eagles in the wild card round in the afternoon. Then we'll have the Commanders and Buccaneers game on Sunday night, and then finish it off on Monday in Glendale, Arizona, as the Vikings go to take on the Rams. So we'll see if that's going to happen. But yeah, I kind of feel bad for the people in Los Angeles right now. Cities are on fire. The Chargers are down big time. But we'll see if this is what is going to happen here. But many turnovers for both sides. So I think they've had like 3 each. So we'll see what happens in this game. But Herbert takes a snap, looks to throw, has some time, floats. It is caught by McConkey and down inside around outside of the 40-yard line of their own zone. And that'll be a first down for the Chargers. 15 minutes to go in the ball game. They have to get a score on this drive to keep the game alive. And we'll see if the Chargers can do that. Trying to avoid their second straight loss in the playoffs. So trying to keep their season alive. But the Chargers, they might just go out of the round. But Herbert throws it down the left seam. It is going to be caught by Len McConkey again, and that is another first down. But Len McConkey, this guy's been outstanding for the Chargers. I've watched the Charger highlights of Len McConkey. He has been a really good stud for this team. And I believe he's going to be one of those key guys in the future for the Los Angeles Chargers. But it's first and 10 for the Chargers inside the 40. Throws it. It is tipped in the air and picked off again. And it's Derek Stingley Jr. breaks the tackle and running down the left seam. Almost a second straight pick six. Down to the 15-yard line. And it'll be Texans ball. And the Chargers might have just given the game away to the Houston Texans. But I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. But what a play by the Texans. But some of them were just bad throws. That throw was tipped in the air and picked off. So, yeah, that might have just been the undoing for the Chargers. The interceptions have just been out of control this second half. They've been very out of control. So we'll see if the Texans can get a score. They're down to the 13-yard line of the Chargers. Handoff to Mixon. Mixon up the middle, down to the close to the 3. It'll depend on the spot if he got the first down or not. But what an interception by Derek Stingley Jr. That was good coordination of where the ball was. And if the Texans get the touchdown, I think that this game is very much over. Because they'll be in the lead by like 10 points, by 20. So I think that'll be it. I think the Texans are going to win this game. So it is second down and 1 coming up for the Texans. Chargers, if they're going to get back in the game, they need to have a turnover. The Chargers defense needs to get a takeaway if they're going to have a chance. And the play was blown dead, so the officials are having a discussion. I'm not sure what ended up happening. But then the officials are having a discussion with D'Amico Ryans. Not sure what's going on. Oh, they're resetting the play clock. Okay, they're resetting the clock to 13:02. They were resetting the clock. So that is what was going on. So Chargers, they need to get a stop here if they're going to try and keep their season alive. If the Texans get a touchdown, this game is very much over. So it's second down and 1 for the Texans, and Justin Herbert looking on the sideline, over on the sideline with his helmet on. And Stroud in trouble, and he is sacked. And that is Khalil Mack in there for the sack, down at around the 13-yard line, back where they originally started. And now bring up third down and manageable for the Texans. So, man, yeah, he got brought down right there. Khalil Mack just got to him. So that's a good play, defensive play by Khalil Mack. So we'll see if they can get the first down. So Texans need to get to at least the 3 for a first down. So Justin Herbert looking from the sideline, seeing if he's going to get a chance to get the team back in this game. Stroud looks to throw. In trouble, throws it left seam, and it's incomplete. Ball hit the ground. And that will send the field goal unit out. And the field goal unit will come on for the Texans, and that might very much be it if the Texans make it. So we'll see if the Chargers can get a block. Their kicker has been perfect tonight, so 41 of 30, 41 and then 37. This one's from 30 yards, so he should easily make this one. So, and the kick is on the way and right down the middle. It is good. And the Texans might have just sealed the deal on that. And it looks like the Texans might just have sent themselves to the divisional round. So if that happens, they'll have to wait and see what happens if depending on who they'll face. If the Ravens and Bills win, then the Texans will go on the road to Kansas City, which that matchup did not fare well in the Texans' favor because that game was just bad. They were getting blown out. Which I think if the Texans do face against Kansas City, that is going to be a very difficult task. And especially being on the road in Kansas City, that is going to be a very difficult task. So we'll see if Houston can get it done. And it'll depend in the next few days today and tomorrow morning on who the Texans will face. So Houston, if the Ravens and Bills win, they will go to Kansas City and face the Chiefs. That's pretty much what we're looking at right now. However, there's another scenario. If the Steelers win and the Bills win, then the Steelers would go on the road to Kansas City and take on the Chiefs. So, and then the Texans would have to face the Buffalo Bills. So, it's pretty much a draw of a straw. It's pretty much what it comes down to. It's going to be determined in the next few hours on what is going to happen between these two sides. Who the Texans are going to go face is beyond us right now. So, it looks like Houston is going to come out here with a win. And the Chargers season, although it was really good, I think it might have just come to an end. So we'll see if the Chargers can get something going. If they don't get a score on this next drive, I do believe it's going to be over from that point forward. I do believe it is over, but I want to see if the Chargers can deal with adversity in this circumstance. We saw the Jaguars come back 27-0 down against them. So we'll see if the Chargers can do the exact opposite of what they did in Jacksonville. So we'll see what happens here, but we'll have to wait and see. I think the Texans might have just clinched the game. 23-6 in favor of Houston. So we'll see if the Texans can keep the lead. But yeah, it looks like the Texans might have just sealed the deal on this game with that field goal. And one more stop by the Texans, and I'm gonna cut the stream because pretty much we all should know the game is about over. So let's see. So kick is on the way down to the end zone. It'll be caught in the end zone, and that'll go in as a touchback. So it'll be moved up to the 30. If the Chargers don't get the first down, I do believe that I'm going to call this a stream. Because I'm going to get ready for tomorrow. I got a very busy day ahead of me tomorrow. I got some work to do. And I might possibly do the afternoon game. I'll have an announcement out later on my channel if I'm going to do the Eagles and Packers game. So we'll see, of course, what happens there. But I'll try to do divisional games next week, and then also maybe AFC and NFC championship games. So we'll see what happens there. But Chargers, if they don't get a touchdown or score, they're done. And Herbert just got sacked, and it's Will Anderson Jr. in there for the sack, and the Texans might be going to the AFC divisional round. So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, it's looking like this one might be just about over for this game. And Herbert in trouble, and he's sacked again, and that's the second straight time. And the Texans get a second straight sack, and they're having a day with this Chargers offensive line. And it's another former Seahawk, Mario Edwards Jr. And that'll bring up third down for the Chargers. And I think this is 4 down territory because you're down by 21. You need to get yourself back in this game. I do believe this is 4 down territory for this. So Herbert has time, floats it down the field. It is caught by McConkey. First down and more, has room, and he is going to the house, and down is a touchdown for the Chargers. And the Chargers are not out of this game just yet. McConkey, what a touchdown. My goodness, what a play by Lad McConkey. The rookie out of Georgia gets his first postseason touchdown, and the Chargers are not done just yet. Now the defense of the Chargers has to get a stop. Or do you want to even put it in the defense's hands? It's either onside kick or rely on the defense to get a stop. That's pretty much what it's coming down to. So the Chargers get back in the game for the moment. They got a little spark of life. So pretty much what we're looking at, they need a touchdown and a field goal to tie the game. So it is extra point kick is on the way, and it's blocked. It is blocked, and it's picked up by the Texans. And if that is good, then that is going to be declared a safety. And that might have just done it. A 2-point block try by the Chargers, and the Texans get a 2 points, I believe 2 points on the board. And yes, they do. The Texans might have just done it. My goodness, that was a bad play. So, tried to deflect it down, but they don't know the rule. That's not considered an incomplete pass. And that might have just done it for the Chargers. And the Chargers season might have just ended on that play. So the Texans get a big takeaway on the extra point attempt. They'll get 2 because it isn't declared a touchdown. So it'll be a 2-point. It'll be a safety. It'll be a blocked attempt points. But yeah, Texans, I think, might have just won the game. 10 minutes to go. There's still a little glimmer of life, but I think the Chargers might have just beaten themselves out of it. But man, and here's what I'll do. If the Texans score one more drive, I'm gonna cut the stream. Because pretty much we know that the game is over if the Texans score again. But we'll see. But tonight we got the Ravens and the Steelers. So if you want to watch that game, it'll be live on twitchtv.com/prime video. So be sure to get hooked up and ready. So because I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna be on here recording for it. Because I want to see what happens for myself. And also I'm pretty tired. And I have to go to bed pretty early. So we'll see what happens. I'll make an announcement tomorrow if I'm going to do the Eagles and Packers game. If I don't, I will try to do some of the divisional round games next week. And I'll pretty sure hopefully be able to do that. But I will be off during the time of the AFC and NFC Championship games. And I'll try to be off during the time of the Super Bowl if I do indeed have work. So let me see what's going on. Hey Siri, show me the NFL playoff schedule. Hey Siri, when is the NFC and AFC Championship being played? Hey Siri, what is the schedule for the AFC Championship game? Siri, what's the schedule for the NFC Championship game? So it'll be on the 26th. So I will go on ahead and get that date off. Okay, I'm going to do something while we're waiting. Okay, so Texans, if they can get another score here, And it will be returned up to the 25-yard line. I'm just trying to put in a request for work off right now. Okay, so the Chargers, they got a touchdown but had an extra point blocked, returned for a 2-point conversion. Pretty much is what it's going down to. So if the Texans win, if the Texans score anything here, I believe they're going to win the game. So Stroud floats it. It is caught by the rookie Cade Stover, tackled around the 31-yard line. So first and second down and about 5 for the Houston Texans. But if they get another score here, they are going. If the Texans get another score, I'm probably going to cut the stream. So it's second down and 5 coming up for the Houston Texans. But yeah, but the whole reason, I don't know why the kicker batted it down. He tried to bat it down. I think he was thinking it was like the incomplete pass rule. You need to hold on to that ball. But Mixon run, and that's a first down for the Houston Texans. And the Chargers defense just cannot stop the Texans this second half. Ever since that touchdown at the before the halftime, they've just not been able to stop the Texans since. So looks like Houston might go to the AFC divisional round. We'll have to wait and see if that is going to be the ultimate case. So we'll see what happens here. So, first and 10 for the Texans. Hand off to Mixon down the right seam and gets about 8 to 7 yards on the carry. And that'll bring up second down and manageable for the Chargers. But, oh yeah, Harbaugh was talking to some of his guys. Yeah, Harbaugh was talking to some of his guys, especially the special teams. But yeah, that I believe that might have cost them. If they made the extra point, I think they might have had a shot. But now the extra point was blocked. Now they have to have 13 points. So pretty much 2 touchdowns and extra points to win the game. So, and a handoff to Mixon and tackled shy of the yard of the first down. And that'll bring up third down for the Houston Texans. Third down and 1. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. Okay, it is third and 1 now for the Texans. Trying to get something going here. Let me here. So it's third and 1. And a run, and it's a first down. And I think this game might just be about over. So, okay. So the Texans are trying to seal this game off. I think they might have ultimately have. So we'll see what happens here. But Mixon, we'll see if this guy can keep this Texans offense going. They're inside of Chargers territory right now. 7 minutes to go in the game. Chargers have all 3 timeouts. And a handoff to Mixon and brought down, only a gain of 2 on the carry. So I'm going to go do something real quick. Hold on. I'm going to mute myself. Hold on. Sorry, just had to turn on the AC in here, but it's 2nd down and 8 for the Houston Texans after the 2-yard carry by Joe Mixon. 6 minutes to go. Handoff of the middle, but it's snuffed for a loss of 2. And the Chargers need to get a stop here to give themselves at least a chance to come back in this game. It's 3rd down and 10. 6 minutes to go. Okay, 6 minutes to go. Remember, LA has all 3 timeouts. So, what I'm thinking needs to happen, they need to get a stop here, get a touchdown, try the onside kick, hope it goes their way, and then get another touchdown after that. If the Chargers end up doing that. 3rd down and 10. Stroud looks to throw. He's in trouble. He's going to run. And close to the 1st down. He started to slide. Did he start to slide before he got it? Oh, he's marked short, I believe. I think he was marked just short of the line coming from his reaction. Oh, that is close. Was it a sliding motion? Because normally what I've seen from referees is whenever the quarterback starts to slide or go down, they mark it a yard back from where the slide started. But I think they're going to measure it. And D'Amico Ryans has thrown a challenge flag. And D'Amico Ryans has indeed thrown his challenge flag. So I'm thinking they're saying that he might have gotten it. Let's see. Yeah, he got it, but was it considered a sliding motion? That's something I know as an official, a high school official, that they look at. Was he in a sliding motion? That is really close. That is a really close one. They marked it at the 37-yard line. Houston is challenging it right now. For right now, it is ruled about a few inches short of the line to gain. So if it stands, it'll be 4th down in inches. Ooh, that is really close. I think he might have gotten it if he does not slide, or if he was considered not to slide. Okay. Hey, Chihuahua, that is hard to tell. It looks like to me he got it. I just don't know if he was in a sliding motion. He like jumped. He did like what Tua did against the Texans. Kind of like did a little dive. So currently right now it is short of the line to gain. So we'll have to wait and see if this is going to stand as called. And of course there has to be indisputable video evidence. And it stands. And that is going to be a 4th down and inches. So if you're Houston, do you want to take the risk? Do you punt the ball back and give the Chargers a chance? Or do you try to go for it and just try to get the 1st down? And for right now, it is looking like that they are going to go for it. 4th and 1 for the Houston Texans. If the Chargers get a stop here, they'll have really good field position. But I think the Texans might just be trying to get them to jump. So we'll see if this is actually going to be, and it is. It's a QB sneak, and I think he might have gotten it. Chargers are saying it's short, but it's not. And it's a 1st down for Houston. And the clock will continue to tick. And the Texans, I believe, might have just sealed the deal on that 1st down. It's in field goal range up to the 35-yard line area. And I think the Texans might have just sealed the deal. There's still a lot of time left because it is like 4 minutes. The clock is going to continue to tick unless the Chargers decide to use their timeouts, which I think they might try and do. But, of course, we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening on this. Stroud hands it off to Mixon up the left side. Oh, what a stiff arm! And he got the first down, another first down, up to the 25. And I think the Texans might win this game. So wait until the entire game ends because you never know what can happen in the NFL on any given Saturday. So yeah, what a stiff arm by Nixon. That was a good stiff arm. And I think he got the first down. So, yes, he did. And the clock, I believe, will stop because he was I don't know. Oh, Chargers used the timeout. So, it'll be 3 minutes and some seconds to go. No, 2 timeouts for the Chargers remaining after they called one. They're going to try to get the ball back, but I don't think they're going to get the ball back. Because the Chargers, they're down by 13 right now. They would need 2 touchdowns right now. They would need to have a takeaway on this next play. Have a pass on like what they did with Lad McConkey. But I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see if this is going to be a first down. So I think the officials are looking at it to see if he might have touched out of bounds. I think the Pebbles might have set it up as inbounds. Ooh, I think they might potentially rule him out of bounds. Which if that happens, then I think the Chargers would retain. Yeah, the Chargers retained their timeout because it was out of bounds. Joe Mixon's toe slid out of bounds, so that will stop the clock. So 4:01 will be on the clock. I'm not sure. He is out of bounds, so the timeout. So the Chargers will get their timeout back because, his toe touched out of bounds. You can see the pebbles coming up on the artificial turf. If you see those pebbles, you always know it's out of bounds if that is the case. So it's 1st and 10 for the Texans. And handoff to Mixon again. That time he's brought down, and the Chargers, I believe, are going to use one of their 3 timeouts. So that is exactly what the Chargers are going to do. So a timeout called by Jim Harbaugh, but we'll see if the Chargers can get past the first round. But Texans, they are looking like they're going to do it right now. So it's 2nd down and 9. 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go. And we'll see what happens here. The Texans have been they started off slow, but then they got kind of hot. So we'll see what ends up happening in this game. And ultimately what happens in the next few games. Because if the Steelers win and the Bills win, then the Texans would go against the Bills would have to face Houston. If all the division winners win, the Ravens and the Bills, then it would be Houston going on the road to Kansas City, which I don't think that should happen because of what Kansas City did to them last time. They absolutely blew the doors off of Houston. I think if that's going to be a matchup, then I think that Kansas City is going to win that game. So it is 2nd down and 4. Coming up for 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Houston Texans. Trying to get themselves back into this game. If the Chargers are going to get it stopped, they need one right now. Handoff to Mixon up the right side and tackled only for a gain of 1 to maybe 2. And that'll be the Chargers' 3rd and final timeout, I believe. I think the Chargers are going to use their 2nd timeout and then try to get another stop. And then I believe they're going to try one more timeout. I think ultimately this game might be over, but if they get one more touchdown, this game will for sure be over. But tomorrow in the morning, you got the Broncos taking on the Bills, so we'll see what happens there. That's going to be a really fun, interesting game. So the lowest seed remaining will go to face Kansas City. And then the 2 highest seeds will face each other. The higher seed will host. So, of course, if Buffalo wins, then they would host the next playoff game. So, it is 3rd down and 9 for the Houston Texans, trying to get a first down. And if they do, this game they could very likely run the clock down. 3rd and 9 coming up for Houston. Stroud hands it off to Mixon. He's got an open lane, very close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. And they're ruling him short by a few inches. They're ruling him short by a few inches. So if Houston gets a first down here, then the game might be over. Very close, though. I think they were very, very close. 4th and 1 coming up for Houston. So Chargers have no more timeouts. They used their last timeout, and I think the Texans might try another QB sneak. They did it already before. Are they going to try it again? And if they do, the Chargers are probably going to anticipate that. So the field goal kicker, is staying on the sideline for right now. The offense looking like they're going to try to go for it. So it'll be 4th and 1. If they do, they might just try a QB sneak. So Chargers, of course, have to get a lot of guys up front. And 4th and 1, handoff to Mixon. Mixon's got it. First down, and he is very close. Was he in? Yes, he was. Touchdown, Houston. And the Texans just put the icing on the cake with that touchdown. And the Texans will go on to the divisional round. And that is going to very likely do it for the Chargers. The Chargers will be eliminated, and the Texans will move on to face either the Kansas City Chiefs, or, depending on what happens, maybe the Buffalo Bills. We'll have to wait and see what transpires there. So, we'll see what happens, but, oh man, what great movement by Joe Mixon. He's been a really good piece for this Texans team. And the extra point is through. And the Texans are going to advance to the AFC divisional round, where their opponent will be waiting will be either decided tonight or tomorrow. So we'll see what ends up happening there. So of course, the next game is the Ravens hosting the Steelers. So depending on what happens with that game, we'll either see Ravens and Bills or Texans and Bills. We'll see one of those two, regardless. So depending on what happens. So we'll see what ends up happening throughout tonight's game. I'm not going to do that game because I'm a little tired and I need to rest up. But this has been a really good game. And I'm actually, since the game is already pretty much clinched, I am going to end the stream here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to do me a favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.